Listen, the only way this thing will be official is if the people choose it. So that means share the show. Seemed like it's been forever and a day, but it has not. It's only been less than a week. However, welcome to another episode of Outlaw Radio on a Monday night, live from the basement. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the host of Outlaw Radio, the world-class smartass, also known in some circles as the Negro Whisperer, certified professional life coach, Negro Whisperer. Not alone, got my homeboy with me. Mr. Carter, what's popping with you tonight, my brother?
Hey, life is what's popping, man. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk, we walk that walk, raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's broacher, teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. I'm your holistic health and wellness coach, Kamar Carter. I'm also one who brings you nature to turn herbs and supplements and the house of vitality. If you ain't been there, you better get there. You hear me? Listen, man, welcome to Outlaw Radio, man. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, support black business is what we always say. It's something that you're going to hear frequently throughout what we do. Anything that's positive and progressive for the people, I'd like to share it. I'm not a hater. We're not haters. As my uncle used to say, we're not nigga haters on the show. We actually asked a lot of our people, and we asked that they do be responsible and progressive. So if somebody's doing it, then we need to, show that as well, instead of what they always get, which is that negative, dark, twisted narrative of us as these wild, out of control people. Foundational black Americans in the building, stand up. Dion in the chat room. How you doing, my brother Dion? He said, "What up, my guys? How you gentlemen doing today?" I'm doing well.
What it do?
I had a pretty good weekend. Kamar, how was your weekend?
Man, my weekend was good too. I had a great day at the Fondy Market. Yesterday, I got to kick back, get some work done that I need to get done to get ready for this week. So, yeah, it was a good one, man. And it was beautiful outside too.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice. And there was some murder, death, kill, but it wasn't crazy. And I guess that's how desensitized I am to what goes on in our city. Did I say it wasn't crazy, but condolences to anybody who lost someone over the weekend, right? I don't want to minimize it. It's a lot going on. It's the end of the summer. I mean, people haven't even taken stock of the fact that it's October. It is October, right? Summer gone, right? Where were you? Right. And I'm one of those people who always celebrate kind of the changings of the season. I'm not bothered by cold weather like some people are in Milwaukee. I'm not in love with sub-zero temperatures and blizzards, but I'm used to it because I've been here my whole life. So I'm used to it. So you don't, I like to see the colors change and all that kind of good stuff with nature. So autumn is actually my favorite season. So I'm kind of happy to see that coming. Where y'all at out there, man? Chime in 262-202-5131, 262-202-5131 is the number. The chat room is on deck. Share the show. We ask that you share the show. Bring people into the conversation because the conversation gets hot. I want to shout out Rail. I know he'll be here. But Rail got me out the house, man, and I met up with Rail. We did some RCing, and I forgot I forgot how fun it is actually. So we had a good time. Got to chop it up, man. And like Kamar said, the weather was beautiful. Yeah, it was smooth, laid back. I went see my son play some basketball. So yeah, man, it wasn't a bad weekend at all. And then we come into, we know that the biggest news in the mill is Dame time. 5,000 some people show up to his greeting, to his welcome to Milwaukee. The brother came with his kids. Now, I don't know, was there a mother there? I didn't see a mother. I saw him with his shorties. I didn't see. I don't know. Maybe
I think his mother. I think his mother was there.
Well, his mother
was there. I saw a video on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw a video on YouTube where she was doing. She got a YouTube channel, and they was inside the arena down on the floor actually with the
Okay.
kids and stuff. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know if the kid's mother was there though.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just seen
But
him and the
I
baby.
have
He was
heard
saying a
that
bad thing.
he's a family man.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it's
have
not a
heard
bad
that he's a
thing
big family man though. So you know what I mean. I would imagine she's close by.
it's whatever. I mean, I don't need to see his baby mama. I just thought it was, because normally when a brother get off the plane, he got the kids, and maybe she just playing the background. We don't know. We just don't know a lot about the
Mm-hmm.
brother yet. It's just not a lot known. I think I
Right.
was more curious as to how he was accepting of Milwaukee. I wanted to see what his attitude was. He wasn't overly excited. I think he might be just a laid back type dude, but he was just like, "Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready to get it in." We're gonna talk about Drew Holiday getting traded. Now we find out that he's going to the Celtics. Rail, what's popping
Hey,
with you, man?
Chilling, man. How y'all doing this evening?
We all
all
good,
right.
man. We all good. I was
That's
just
good.
telling Kamar about us getting out on our little RC foray the other night.
Yeah, it was pretty fly.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. Hold on once, y'all. Give me a second, Sean. Give me a second. So Rail, how was your weekend otherwise?
It was real smooth. I got some stuff done around the house that I needed to get done. So it feel good to start the month out with some loose ends tied. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Sean, you got to cut your device down.
My device is down.
No, it's not because I'm hearing the echo. What's happening with you?
I'm not hearing nothing no more, bro. Hey man, where my link at?
You got to let me know when you come on because you be all in the casino and I don't know. I want to interrupt your vacation and your date nights. You got to let me know when you want to come on. I don't never know. You know what I'm saying? So
Send me my link, bro.
you could ask nicely.
I'm asking. I'm asking.
Okay, yeah, call in and strong arm me and shit. Send me a link. Suge Knight want to be ass dude? Nah, man. I'll shoot it to you. I'll shoot it to you.
You look kind of lonely on the show by yourself, bro.
I'm not actually by myself. Your feed is super delayed. I'm on here with two other people.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
I see you really real now.
Yeah.
What up, Professor?
Peace.
So Sean, I'm gonna send you a link. I'm finna hang up. I'm gonna send you a link.
All right, send my link then, bro. All right.
I mean, once again, you're getting a little aggressive with your tone. That's gonna cause a hesitation in it, right? So Rail, like before we was interrupted, right? I was saying, you reminded me. I was reminded of how much fun my little hobby actually is. It was like, man. And I looked at the videos you put up. It was crazy. Rail got a group called Remotes and Hoes, believe it or not.
yeah, it cracks me
Remotes
up.
and Hoes, right? And so we just in there zipping around in the lot with the RCs, but it was fun, man. It was dope. It was dope.
Yeah, it was nice peace of mind, man. When you riding them things and shit, that's all you thinking about is the remote control car. You ain't thinking about what you got to get done tomorrow, none of that shit. You just in the moment.
Yeah, it's something that where you, like I said, it's for me, it's always been just kind of like, I don't like to use the word getaway, right? But just a momentary escape from whatever. And it's
Right.
also about the control and learning, because it's a learning curve to it. So learning how to really drive and whip and knowing your machine. And like I was explaining that to Rail about really knowing what you're doing, why it moves the way it moves and why it handles and what parts you got on there. So it's gonna get deeper because before the snow hit the ground, I gotta break out I've earmarked probably about 5 or 6
Okay.
that I gotta get out that I've not run or maybe run once since I've hurt my back. Chat room, I see y'all. Sharon Evans, how you doing, my sister? What's going on with you?
Peace.
Mama Jenkins, good evening. She says, good evening, my outlaw family. Let's make it do what it do. It's just
Peace.
foundational Black America at its finest. We're just gonna talk about things that are pertinent to us and pertinent to our community. If you have something to add to the conversation, please do. Right? We encourage that. 262-202-5131 is the number for you to just jump in, right? And so like I was talking about Dame Lillard. I was talking about the 5,000 people that showed up to see him. I'm hoping that this brother, because I feel like he's 33 years old. He should be over the hot boy shit, right? He's a consummate pro, apparently. I'm hoping he looks at this and understands the depth of the opportunity that he has, in this just playing here. Like, I heard one of the sportscasters say, well, it's not Miami, and it's more fun in Miami than it is in Milwaukee, but winning is more fun than Miami. So if you want to be on a winner and you want to get a championship and add to your legacy, I think this is a perfect opportunity for him. On the flip side of that, Drew Holiday is now a member of the Boston Celtics. And so people were talking about, we wanted to get Drew back and we was hoping we could re-sign Drew. Drew was trade bait. He was capital for Portland to really maneuver because they got 2 first-round draft picks for him. He's 35 years old. That's how good a player he is. Now he's in Boston, and they're saying that Boston is neck and neck with Milwaukee in terms of being the favorite to win the Eastern Conference Championship. So this should be a very interesting season for the NBA. I'm never one who likes super teams, right? I don't like super teams. But I don't look at this as the same as a super team. I look at this as just, each team did what they needed to do to match up their pieces. So we will see, man. I hope this brother gets in tune with the community a little bit. Like I said, I was informed that he's from Oakland.
I hear that. I heard he's that type of brother, though. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Where he get into the community. I was watching one of the big things on YouTube. They pro day.
Okay.
Pat Connaughton, they familiar with each other. They don't play with each other and all type of shit.
Okay.
And he was commenting on how good he is with the community, how giving he is to the community and everything. I thought that was dope that he mentioned that. But, I heard a few people talking about how he didn't say nothing. Like, he didn't say nothing. He ain't talked to the crowd. I really don't think he was supposed to. Like, I just think that was something that they just said, look, he was just coming to Pfizer Forum see for the first time, him and his family. You know what I mean? I don't think it was really meant for like a real pep rally. Like, hey, what's happening, y'all? Yeah, I'm here. It wasn't even no microphones and shit.
I don't think he doesn't seem like, and from what I've observed, he doesn't seem like a rah-rah type of dude.
Right.
I don't like, even in his games, he don't jump around a lot. He's more like, you see him do his gesture when he points at his wrist, but he don't seem like one of them kind of dudes. So, I mean, you pull up first day on your job and you get out the car and there's 5,000 people standing out there, like, what? It's like, damn. Okay. Okay.
Right.
So, Sean Moore, what it do, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing what it do. Doctor, which doctor? What's happening? Professor Real and the Negro Whisper.
Peace.
Yeah, you sound tired, man. I went past the store the other day and there was nobody really out. There's a tent and the entrances were blocked off, but I didn't see anybody out there. So I just kept going.
Did you stop and like go
knock on the tent door?
The entrance of the tip? Yeah, because people be in the tent, bro.
Yeah, I'm not hanging out in no tent, so I just wasn't no need on me stopping. But I mean, I wasn't finna get out and go in the tent.
You could have watched some TV, had a drink, smoked a little something,
No, that's not what I do. I'm cool. Like I'm not. Yeah,
you too good for the tent. You too good to hang out with the people, bro.
I can hang out with the people. Well, do we have to be in the tent?
You admitted it.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I am.
We were at the tent, so
maybe I think too highly of myself. Maybe I'm a narcissist. Maybe I'm an egomaniac. No, right? Maybe I'm an asshole. You never know.
That you are. You are. We know.
I keep it real. So when I say some asshole like tonight, please don't be offended. Because I tend to do those types of things sometimes. It. Yeah. That's one of the highlights of the show.
Of course.
Good evening. Mama Jenkins, she said, and this is very correct. She says no government shutdown. Everybody's still getting a check for the next 45 days. Mama Jenkins, I don't know why they always tease this government shutdown because it's never come through, has it? Like, has it ever? Well, I think it was at one point, a couple years back.
They got they gotta do a couple pump fakes so when they push that bullshit through, we just be so happy that it ain't shut down. And you see that thing? There was something that said $233 million to the Ukraine every day since last year, like February and November or some shit like that. I'm like 233 million a day. Is that shit real?
Yeah, you know,
And I can't
and
get
I'm
$23.99.
watching.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
watching. Well, the government
straight
is
up.
sending 23 million to the Ukraine, but we got to go put no critical race theory clauses on tax increases in Milwaukee when we got a $7 billion surplus. I don't really think people grasp how dumb this is, and like the leaders, the so-called leaders, they just play this game with you. They just, Liz Brown, when she was on here, she used to always say, because they playing in my face. They ain't gonna play in my face. And I used to always be like, did somebody play in her face one day? Like, she used to be pissed about it. But I understand it now because I feel like the government now, and they use the press to create panic or create fear or create anticipation. And I think the beauty of what this latest, like the podcast, the content creator, these platforms does is it kind of irons out some of the wrinkles that they kind of threw in the mix, because you do have an opportunity to hear truth, depending on who you listen to. But yeah, no government shutdown. I guess thank God for that. I guess I seen somewhere that even if it was a government shutdown, they'd still be getting paid. So it's like, huh? How that work? That's bad math.
Yeah, right.
So it's crazy. Let me see who else is in the chat room. Dion said you must have forgot the same city that stood an NBA player leg. Well, there was some police who did it. I don't know if you can put that on the whole city because I didn't do it, and they had to pay. They got sued, and taxpayers had to pay for it. But you know how that goes. A lot of people don't understand that when there's a settlement against the police, in particular in Milwaukee, people go, oh yeah, get their ass. But when there's a settlement, guess who pays for it? Taxpayers pay for it. So those cops' personal finances are never really affected unless they have invested in a lawyer. But when you're a cop, since you got this immunity, they provide a lawyer for you through your union. So you don't even have to spend on a lawyer. So we know that. Mama Jenkins said, question, did Giannis and his brothers come as a package? He came into the meal like it didn't finish. I'm sure Giannis, to please Giannis, I think the Bucks owners would do just about anything. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a generational talent.
Hey, kid. Remember, this is just what I was saying. Like, this is what all superstar players do. They say this shit like, hey man, look, I need to see which way they're going before I sign this extension. I need to see him do something. I need to see him bust a move. Obviously, Giannis' voice carried weight. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it always has. I mean, I don't. Those owners have. How did Drew Holiday get here in the first place? Because Giannis said, because remember we had Bledsoe, who's the guard.
Yep.
And they was paying.
And that's how they got. Yep. And that's ultimately how they wound up.
That's how Drew got here. Yep. So Giannis said, then, yo, give me somebody. And they did. And he said it again, and they did again.
Maybe we should be thanking Giannis for threatening their ass. Like,
I'm not. It'd be hard for me to thank somebody.
You know what I mean?
It's hard for me to thank somebody who's gonna make $70 million off a game, though.
Come on, man. We talking about basketball. We ain't talking about the politics of the shit, man.
Well, I'd be damned. Well, I didn't know that. I was my fault. It's Outlaw Radio.
Hey, you had to take it political.
Right, I'm taking it there. That's what we do on this show.
Take it to the Big Black Sports Show and shit.
Right. I'm mixing all that shit in, right? You feel me?
You can't just have fun with the conversation.
No. Shit, let's go. Again, fuck you, Giannis. There's poor people in this city. Rich bastard. Got the nerve to go buy 50 chicken sandwiches when you win a damn chance. You didn't donate to them motherfuckers. Oh man, anybody can get it on Outlaw Radio. Dion, shout out to Dion. He said, "What happened to all the hype around Dion? I don't think it's gone anywhere." Look, and as a matter of fact, I think people might respect us opening up with sports. Okay, so this is where we going because I'm going with what the people want. Now Dion played. They played you. Everybody says Dion played, but it's not Dion playing. It's his team. It's the kids that play for him. right? And he's even said people get it twisted. They want to beat me, but I'm not playing.
Right.
They want to beat me, so they go at my kids. So I say they played USC, which talent-wise and where USC is and where they're at is miles away. Just like when they played Oregon, Deion is trying to build to that. Now, Oregon whooped their ass. Wasn't no coming back, wasn't no nothing, right? We got an echo.
Hey,
I got a
look,
TV
man,
on.
they came on back though.
Exactly.
They came
Right.
on back. That second half, they kicked USC ass the second half.
Came out balling. And it was it's young kids on the team.
Yeah.
That's freshmen.
Hey, right. Hey, look, and that's basically I feel like that's the same thing that's going on with the Packers. It's a point in time where they got to learn how to grow up. And it kind of seemed like they grew up a bit in that game. You know what I mean?
You don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna see. But that's just what it felt like to me. You know what I'm saying?
I still think what Deion is doing and has done is one of the greatest things that we've ever seen in terms of college football, especially where foundational Black Americans are concerned. It's funny to me that people would critique him because if you watch it, it's all about levels, and he's taking it from. First of all, this man had his own school in Texas where he coached his son. Went to Jackson State. Left there and went to Colorado. It seemed like to me, Black people are moving up, and some Black people are mad. But it is what it is, man. I'm still rocking with Deion. I love what Deion is doing. His son is obviously something special. Because he, like you said, in that second half, he got loose, man. So shout out to Deion. I'm still on the Colorado train. Deion.
No doubt. With all teams in all sports, you know what I mean. You have to build the team. You know what I mean. Your team build. You know what I mean. So you look at where he at and the things they doing. You know what I mean. Like you could see where they going.
Yeah, man.
Next year they gonna be a force.
Well, after the transfer portal this season and his recruits, and listen, it's like Black Dynamite said, everybody want a steak, but don't nobody want to see the cow get killed, right? It's a process. It's a process. Juice Lady, what it do? You world traveler, college student, you finally had time out your busy schedule to join us. What's cracking with you?
Y'all, hey y'all, I did just finish class and I be tired, and so I'm here though. I want people to know I'm still outlaw. They be like, damn, the Juice Lady gone? No, I just be busy and tired. I'm sleeping.
And people usually blame shit on me, say, Kev, what you do? Right? Like I ain't do shit. Like what you talking about, man?
The Kev told me to go to school, so shit. Now I'm busy all the time. So I'm putting
Hey, I told Rail go. I told Rail is brilliant, man. I said, man, you should be in somebody's school somewhere. What's going on? Man, that degree will put you in a different room. And then Deion's in the chat room. He goes further to say them garbage ass Packers too. Once again, not upset as a sports guy, not upset with where the Packers are. We knew that this was a building process. Kamar just talked about it, and there's a lot of young players, and injuries have decimated the Packers. If you look at now, if you don't know football, I can't really explain this to you, but for you to miss 2 or 3 starting all-pro offensive linemen is detrimental to your offense, and then on defense to have 3 or 4 of your best players out is hard. So the fact that they won is actually a hell of a job. So. And we knew, to me, Jordan Love so far has passed the eye test. He looks like he's gonna be a good quarterback. Everybody keeps saying, "Well, will he be Aaron Rodgers?" Well, it's only one Aaron Rodgers, right? Like, who said he had to be Aaron Rodgers? He may be better, right? You don't know.
From black folk. What's the man before Aaron Rodgers that was stealing from Mississippi? Who was that?
Well, allegedly, that's Brett Favre. Allegedly, he.
Is it really alleged, Kev, or did he have the money?
He's not convicted yet. So he's not convicted yet. So right now it's allegedly. We don't,
Oh.
Look, I'm saying that because he sued Shannon Sharp for saying he stole the money. So yeah, Shannon Sharp and the other white boy, he sued him too. Both of them. Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Well,
hope your ass is up in court, huh?
Right.
Skip, I gotta go to court, Skip.
Right.
So, allegedly he stole that damn money, right? I ain't got shit to give Brett.
Right.
That redneck. Right. He said I drove past. Deion said he drove past last night and there was a black car out there. I think he's talking about gas station, Sean. So that would be your territory. Dion said he drove by.
Hey, Sean. Did Sean hear me?
He can't see. I think I muted his mic. My bad. Let me unmute him.
Damn, bro.
Oh.
It was a blue car, and I was out there. Hey, Courtney, how you doing, baby girl?
Hey.
Yeah, Sean had like Sesame Street going in the background.
Huh? I had fucking Sesame Street going on background.
Okay, it was the electric company.
Game on.
Great Space Coaster.
Asshole.
You got that shit on DVD.
This the part you was telling us about. This the part you was telling us about, that asshole part.
Believe it or not, Sean is one of my best friends.
Bro, why you ain't signed up for this business class yet? I just told everybody to come get their grant money from the Chamber of Commerce, and I ain't seen your name yet.
Man, you ain't never lied. And I just I was telling my lady, I said I still gotta sign up for that and to get my gun permit again. And I'll be like, man, I think about Saturdays. I'll be like, shit, I work all week. I don't want to sit nowhere on Saturday.
I know the feeling, because that Saturday, that shit was long as hell. You be like, damn.
Yeah. And then Sunday, it's time to get ready for the week again. So it's like Saturday, that one day. But no, I told her we both gonna sit in, because she got her business too. So I'm like, we gonna both sit there and go ahead and get this grant and shit, get this shit popping.
Yeah, man, that's $2,000 in the air.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's worth a Saturday.
That is.
So I took my sister with me too. Come on, boy, you come get you $1,000 too. Sit down. Come on, what you want to do?
Hell yeah.
Kev, send your too. Tell him to start up a little business. Give him $1,000. Go buy him some little shoes or something. I don't know.
Yeah, go buy some little shoes or something for $1,000. I wish I would pay $1,000 for some shoes.
Not $1,000 pair of shoes, Kev.
Damn. Oh, I was gonna say. Other than that, I could buy some shoes. Do my shoes bad? Did somebody say something? Like,
no, I'm just saying, like my son, he like to buy shoes. He
okay.
I'm like, well, look, we finna go get you this grant, and you can spend some of that grant money on shoes, and you can sell them. You can buy some hoodies and sell them, whatever you want to do, boy. Go.
I thought Kamarnia might have said something behind my back, like Kev was at the Sherman Phoenix with some piss wipers on. People talking behind my back and shit. Did you see his shoes?
Right. Said, what are those?
Kev had on some go-go boots. This fool Dion asking him, have he broke something off in the tent yet? Oh my goodness. Once again, Ron Burgundy syndrome, just reading the teleprompter. Sharon Evans said, right, no student debt forgiveness, but the Ukraine get billions. Listen, it's so many other places that billions of dollars could go in this country, right? And check this out. I hear people talking about countries, BRIC and these countries, we're disassociating ourselves with the dollar and all this kind of thing. But we have an immigration problem here right now, in which there are thousands upon thousands of immigrants here that can't get admitted. Like I seen in Chicago, I think it's the airport where they have all these immigrants and they have nowhere to put them.
I drove past the police station yesterday, and man, it was just motherfuckers just out there, just plenty of immigrants.
Dropping them all.
Well, I mean, if they're running from the dollar, but all your people are running from your country, you had to come back to the dollar, ain't you? I mean,
and then I know y'all be seeing them right there on Fond du Lac begging. They had a whole family right there. They be on all the streets, whole family, all of them.
I don't know, but I don't know if those are immigrants though. I thought those was heroin addicts. I'm sorry, was I wrong?
I think those be immigrants, because it'd be the regular heroin addicts, and then it'd be some Latinos, and it'd be a whole family. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, them definitely immigrants.
I know that.
So there's immigrant heroin addicts, and then non-immigrant heroin addicts, but they all beg.
Right. So I only seen the families and the non-heroines at this time. I done seen them playing the violin over at Target trying to get some money. All of that, plenty of shit. I ain't seen the heroin ones yet. Where they at?
If he was playing the violin at Target, he probably one of the heroines.
He was a teenager, Kev. Damn, it was the parents. The parents could have been addicts and like, hey, girl, get out there and play that goddamn music.
You never know. Maybe he's from Ohio, because I heard in Ohio everybody is on the needle. It's just an assumption, allegedly. I don't know.
Her kids Ohio, and I mean, her kids still in school. She just left and like abandoned their ass and moved. So you know what?
See, she probably on heroin. You never know.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, she on drugs, but now that you're saying Ohio got the drugs, and then she there, Damn.
Yeah, it's whole towns in Ohio. Like they were giving it a lot of optics. There's whole towns in Ohio in which there was like this super bad epidemic, and there was one, I believe it was up to 85% of the people had HIV from intravenous drug use, sharing dirty needles.
What?
Yeah, this is real shit. You can go look this up. I ain't make this up. And so they had pictures of this town where people were it was just heroin had decimated, and these are white people. It wasn't us.
Of course it is.
Okay. I'm just saying, because normally people say dope, it must have been a bunch of niggers. No, this time it was
white folks. Like,
right.
Yeah.
She said Kev don't hate on rich ball players. I don't, but I just think the way we deal with celebrities in general, to me, is counterproductive. Like, have you ever thought about the fact that when there's a tragedy and millions of people die, thousands of people die in some calamity, celebrities come and ask us to donate money, but in the same vein, they'll go on Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous and be like, he's worth $200 million. This is his opulent $12 million mansion. Soon as some shit happen, give with your heart, please. What the fuck you asking me for money for? So I just I've never understood that. Even when I was a little kid and they did We Are the World, I said, okay, all y'all in the room got enough money to end hunger in Ethiopia. What the fuck do you want us to do?
Right.
I just didn't get it. I don't know. Maybe I'm an asshole for thinking that way. I'm thinking like,
I always wanted that shit too.
Right. And then they said, well, I already give thousands of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for charitable. Okay, well, continue, because you got a movie coming out in a couple months and you're going to want us to go see that motherfucker. Yeah. So you'll get your money back, right? You'll get your money back.
Write it off on their taxes.
And they do. And they do. And they do. So,
exactly.
Yeah. And athletes in Milwaukee, now there's what they generate. Like, they get taxed at a higher rate. I thought if you were an athlete, you get taxed at a higher rate. Like, I thought when you, like, the money you spend, and that's how they work revenue sharing as well. So that's why I say, I get Giannis. I get yes, we love you. You're a great basketball player and want you to stay here. And I do understand him being a part of the team generates revenue. But then I have to look at that revenue and say, well, how much of that actually benefits the Black community? I'm pretty sure the Bucks owners would say to me, oh, no, I give so much money. We do this. We do nonprofits. We do all this kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know their business. So
yeah, I felt that way when it came to.
But should we fault the player though, or should we fault the team?
Or should we fault like the city or something? Because it really ain't his fault. Really, that's like
he playing basketball. He come from nothing. He come from zero. Like, you know what I mean? Like, should we fault him?
I guess I don't like the tone. I don't like somebody who's making $70 million say, I'll leave. It's like, well, get the fuck out there. Like, that's just me. Like,
I ain't feel like he was talking to us. I felt like
I'm saying to him. I'd say to him, like, okay, you make $70 million in base salary. You probably have another $40 million in endorsements. So you're making over $100 million a year. And you're gonna tell me, well, I'll leave.
I bet you Giannis feel like he done made Milwaukee what it is. I bet you he be like how I be seeing videos of Kanye talking shit. Did you just post that Kanye shit? Him talking shit about Nas? But I feel like the way Kanye be talking shit alone, I bet you Giannis be like, I bring money to Milwaukee. I make this city what it is. I bring the fans. It is me, and I will leave. And, I bet motherfuckers fit the crib. He no tripping. You already know. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably how that nigga feel at the crib.
I have never heard you do a foreign accent before.
Yeah, that was my Giannis.
I see it. They had him eating a brat. And see, these are the games that we play. Like, he's eating the brat. He's like, oh, this is so delicious.
Right.
I love it here. I'm so glad to be.
I am from Milwaukee.
Right. I tell people in Greece, I'm from United States. It's like, not talking like that, you ain't. But listen, I don't want to be the bad guy. I'm just saying, man, go play basketball, right? And get your money. But don't be threatening me with a good time. Talking about I will leave.
I mean, they threatened us at first when they brought up the whole shit with us paying more taxes for the stadium. They was like, y'all could use your taxes and build a stadium, or we could lose the Bucks. I was like, fuck them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I think it ain't he ain't talking to the fans. He talking to the management.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I could take that. I feel like he need to consider the fans.
Like
The
letting them
projects is
know,
10 minutes from your job.
He is lighting that fire up under their ass to get Damian Lillard in this motherfucker. You know
Dang
what I
time.
mean?
Dang
So
time.
he's looking out for the fans.
You know?
Dang time. Mama Jenkins said, "Hey, Courtney, welcome back." Yeah, people notice when Courtney's missing. Like I said, Courtney's a busy. You went to Chocolate City. You had a whole adventure, and you ain't been back to tell us about it.
Good. Like even going out to the motherfucking club, and I got my weed in the club, but then I'm in the club with a whole bunch of officials from here and shit. We all in there bankhead bouncing and shit, drinking. That shit was incredible. I had a great time. It was good.
What's up with that mambo sauce?
What mambo sauce you talking about?
I said bring me back some mambo sauce.
Oh, sorry.
I
mean, I really didn't get to kick it. I was in training all the day before I left. This time I went out the night before.
I just thought about it, like, because when I think of DC, I think of go-go and mambo sauce. That's the only two things I think of. Shit.
I didn't get to go nowhere to explore shit. We was in 9:30 every night. So that last night we all went out. It was a gala at the hotel hosted by Megan Good and shit. It was a fight before I left. You know, it was a gala, black and white, and black folks, you know. I'm like, how is y'all fighting at the gala? It's a whole bunch of people from different cities. Like, who do you know here that you got in the fight with? I mean, bloody fights. It was a gala. I'm like, damn, niggas.
I want to think of DC. I think about Crack and Marion Barry. Right? The bitch set me up. I don't know if you ever seen Marion Barry. He said the bitch set me up.
Y'all know shrooms are.
I think that a Million Man March when I think of DC.
Okay, you way more positive than me.
Right.
The bitch set me up.
Fuck yeah. I kept thinking about the first 48 because I used to always see DC on the first 48.
Okay.
So
damn.
Wow. I remembered. I was like, oh, they do be getting down in certain spots, but I guess I wasn't over there. But like I said, did y'all know shrooms are legal? Like you go in the dispensary, they got the weed, they got some shrooms. I'm like, what?
How did you fuck with them?
I didn't get none. No.
Man.
Because the shrooms I saw look like, I don't know, like I could have shroom. I'm like,
you don't want to be
like
out there for that far away from home, geeking off no shrooms. Get your ass by a heroin addict.
Damn.
Immigrant heroin addict. Like I'm going to take a purse. Sharon Evans said, I saw a whole family begging by Culver's today. Whole family. Kids ain't even at school. Y'all gonna have to go to work today with me. Right? Like, man.
Just sitting there.
I used to have a policy though. I wouldn't give to grown-ups. Like when they're because it used to be children. You don't see as many children now. Like, but it used to be kids who'd be like, hey, sir, can you give me something to eat? So I would say, yeah, I will do this if you come in the gas station or the store with me and I'll buy you something to eat. I'm not giving you no money. And grown people, I would just, come on, man, fuck away from me, right? And I told y'all I had the experience with a beggar outside the liquor store, and he says, hey man, you could do something for me with a couple dollars. And I said, well, I don't carry no cash, brother. And he said, well, damn, can't you put it on your card? I said, motherfucker, if you don't get away from me, I'll beat your ass. It was crazy. I was like, calm down, Dad.
That happened to me with it used to be this older lady and older man couple up here by Silver Spring Walmart. And, I'm like, ma'am, I just got some change, but here you go. She's like, this all you got? And I'm like, ma'am, I just left the damn store where a nigga with no legs or arms is in there working.
And, what you mean?
Happy and working. A good ass spirit dude. He chipper and shit.
Right.
No legs, no arms, and he working. He done took away everybody's excuse to be.
He was chipper. Black people use.
Yeah, no, I like dude. He a good ass spirit.
Right, but black people don't usually say chipper. Like, Kamar, yeah, man, he real chipper. Like we usually use that word, right? You said chipper.
But she pissed me off, man. Because one thing, it's like even when you see a woman out on the corner begging, it's like, dog, you rather beg than hoe. Like
there you go. I knew Red was going to turn into a pimp because he started rubbing his chin.
In the fair exchange, there is no robbery, man. So why beg when you can earn your living?
I knew it was gonna turn to pimping for you.
That's right.
Right.
I mean, that's
sitting
right.
on the ATM, baby.
Let that be your first option, but damn, let it be right before begging.
Kamar said you sitting on an ATM.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
You ain't even got to get no. a titty, 20 a titty.
That
Picture a
was
titty,
for real
20 a
or
titty,
something.
some shit.
No, don't try to play it
No,
off tomorrow.
Kamar said, I
You
ain't
popped
know
his
that.
own ism off and say I was fucking with real.
Oh.
All right, you sitting on the ATM, baby. I just want to help you get a card, right?
I just never really been with begging. You know what I'm
I
saying?
Right.
real begging is just, I just felt like, no, it just.
Right. And then they'll turn their nose up at a chick that stripper hoe. Ugh, that's nasty. But then you turn around begging for shit.
Right.
Listen, there's a lot of people.
Look, I don't understand.
I don't understand the logic.
Kamar made the best point in the world last week when he said just because it ain't on video don't mean it ain't getting done.
That's right.
And there's a lot of people that's already whores and they don't know it. Sean, you asked me if I was gonna bring you back, but you keep removing yourself. I don't know. You had to go to the store, get a pack of cigarettes. I don't know what you was doing. And I just don't like when you blame me for you being in and out and say you gonna bring me back. You drop me.
Wait a minute. So if Sean was white, would he have been in and out going to get cigarettes, or would he have been doing something else?
Thank you.
I would have probably said, did you go get some crystal meth? I probably would have said crystal meth instead of cigarettes. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm on that type shit tonight.
Oh my God.
Either way it goes, somebody was getting insulted. It didn't matter what race.
Oh, let me tell y'all.
Somebody
OD'd in my parking lot the other night.
Damn.
And then you just hear somebody's car horn just going off. And I'm like, damn, that sounds like somebody's head just hit the
You ain't got no Narcon shit?
I did in my car. But, we just sitting in the car tripping. Like, in the house, like, damn, do you think somebody died? Or did somebody,
For real?
And I'm like, well, somebody need to go out there and check. Then you hear a fire truck.
What?
Then you hear some steel getting cut. I'm like, yo, are they cutting open the door? Somebody had really got.
Why did they cut the door? All they had to do was bust the window.
I don't know. You heard the shit getting cut, and then boom, a motherfucker was dead. They didn't
before they want to use their tools. We just got this new saw. Let's try it out. All you gotta do is bust the window.
Man, trying to get their little hit before they went in the house to deal with them kids.
So you could have saved them if you'd have went out there.
No, maybe.
Allegedly.
Look, I might have not reacted the right way. I might not have tried to bust the window or open the door. I probably would have stood there calling 911 like, damn, hello, somebody is in there.
I heard with some of that shit, you got to even be careful with like opening doors or windows. Like they said, a little bit of that fentanyl get in the air and hit you in the face. You might pass out of some shit.
Oh yeah, that bitch can die.
And then how would y'all feel? You know what I'm saying? Y'all out in the court.
That bitch can die.
You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
damn.
That bitch.
Well, you're not talking to Courtney. You talking about whoever's in the car.
Okay, you told me to leave.
I'm talking about whoever got that fentanyl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I be thinking
fentanyl all around and shit.
I saw some random white folks leaving the apartment earlier that day, and they was pulling out the back in the truck. White dude, white woman, looked like they probably did, and so
that's kind of racist.
I was like, damn, I bet that's who motherfucking got this person.
That's rather racist, Courtney.
Dog food.
Never been around here, and then tonight somebody died.
Yeah, that's racist. That's racist.
It was down.
So was it because they were white or because they were strangers to the apartment?
Both strange white folks over here pulling out the back. Y'all selling drugs.
Well, I always was told don't get in trouble around black people because they can't really call for help because most of them be having warrants. And they don't want to help you because they don't want to go to jail. They be like, hey man, call 911. Why don't you do it? And I got warrants.
That's understandable.
I ain't got warrants.
Dion, what's popping, man? Dion with us. Let me see if I got. I thought I had
right now.
Dion. Oh, did he hang up? Okay, I lost Dion. He'll call back. I'm sure.
He will. Indeed, he will.
Right. He's on the road.
He's gonna call back.
Sharon Evans said they don't want to earn it though, real. I guess because people don't understand like actually being a prostitute is a lot of work.
It is actually.
Like it's like you got to be in and out of cars, and unless you can stay, post up. But my mama used to say, "Well, call girls." You become a call girl. And I grew up thinking, oh, she like, now that's when you're really doing it as a prostitute. So I was like, so that's the level you want to get to is to be a call girl.
Appointments.
Where people just set appointments. I'm like, you got to step your game up. You got to become a call girl. Like, so I just like, I don't think people give prostitutes enough respect. I guess I'm saying.
That's where you need proper management at.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is? I say respect because they work hard.
We talked about this before, and I'm back on that. What is the point? Because it's like, I'm paying you for what? What are you doing?
To leave.
You're not protecting me because I'm in these rooms and cars.
I am protecting you.
You not. That's what
protecting
you try to watch pimps up hoes down all
Come find out then, Courtney.
A lot of the time, these girls don't know where to go. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to act. You know what I mean? They don't know how to dress. You got to teach them every fucking thing.
That's right.
You got to pay y'all for that.
Yeah, it's management. I gotta take you to your doctor's appointments. I take you get your clothes. I make sure your little bad kids is fed and in the bed sleeping.
But why can't this be like?
A lot of time, pimps be babysitters too.
Right. That's right.
Just because I can make her hold the water, I can't make her drink. Shit, I gotta teach you how to drink too.
Pimps should just get paid for a little while. That's how I feel. I mean,
you pay coaches and mentors.
Right.
Yeah, you go pay the therapist. You pay the psychologist. You pay the daycare provider. You pay the Arab at the hotspot for your Lucy's. Oh, you can't pay me for a little stability. We talking about pimping on Outlaw Radio tonight, y'all. What's happening?
Going down around this motherfucker.
After you done got me together, you done put me up on some game. I'm straight now. I don't really need you.
Yeah, until you try to go do it by yourself and then realize, baby, you ain't nothing without me. Okay, let me stop. See, my wife be down here like, oh, you pimping tonight. Then I be in a world of shit. Like, I'm just
the best.
Ain't no renegades on the track, baby. Ain't no renegades on the track. I'm telling you now. Don't go out there on your own like you gonna get some money. Then come back here to they done took your money.
Right, man. It's pimping. Pimpin, not with a G.
Daddy,
Mama Jinx said, according to these beggars, she said these beggars at Target, they got in a Denali. I was counting money next to the handicap parking, and I checked their asses. The old lady used to say it's better to be a prostitute and a hoe. A prostitute get up with a whole bunch of money, and a hoe get up with a wet ass. I don't know.
Now what you want? Some money or a wet ass, Courtney? Which one you want?
Y'all don't fucking hear. I just want to take a shot. I don't.
This shit got nasty in a hurry, didn't it? Outlaw pimping ass radio. Carl Pfeiffer, what
wanted a couple dollars.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I was just trying to make a way. See,
Cuz said, what the fuck? I thought this shit was positive. Pimping is positive, player. Don't know how to manage their money or how to charge for their services. Yeah, so you got to get them structure.
That's why they need pimping.
I got YouTube now. YouTube can help me with all of that. I bet you some videos that's gonna tell me, okay, so
ain't got nothing on pimping.
See, that's the thing, though. It's got to be by choice, not force. So you have to accept that you need him in your life. So you got to say, you have to choose him. He ain't supposed to gorilla pimp you. No. So if you don't see no need for him, then you're obviously not a candidate for him. Don't put in the application with him because that's not where you need to be working at.
True.
But the streets is a rough place to be by yourself.
Who need pimping in their life?
Because if he got 6 girls out there and you by yourself, they're gonna make your life hell. So you got to consider that too. When he can pull up and say, "Y'all leave her alone," but if you probably would have got your little weave tore out and everything, standing out there crying and shit, like, damn, they can whoop her ass. You can't be out here.
If I got 6 hoes, I need 1 more.
Right. Ever since this dude dealt with his legal situation, he just open to the word pimping now.
Hey, what can I
no
say?
renegades on the track. Stupid, man. Stupid. Let me see. Don't know how to manage their money. Okay, I read that. Dion, I answered your call. I don't know what happened. Let me check my shit because I will fuck up. Hold on, give me a second. Let me get my shit. Man, everybody couldn't graduate from the University of Black River Falls. Well,
wow. Wow, that's what we on, bro.
Red Granite State University. I don't know.
What you on, Courtney? You trying to show us that you flexible? You trying to show us that you flexible, that you ready for this pimping?
I bought this at our show on Saturday. Y'all looking?
Yeah, we looking now. Sean was doing devil's mint.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that right now. We're talking about art.
That ain't got nothing to do with pimping. Oh, I thought we still on pimping.
No, Chicago.
We've segued to art.
Pimping is an art form. Pimping is an art form, according
You
to
got him
everybody.
started, bro.
Can't
You
do
got
it.
him started. You got him started with this shit.
I was just saying I would prefer that over begging. Just like I would prefer a dude walking up and down the street with a rake in his hand or a lawnmower over begging.
Right. Begging ain't honorable. Dion, you should be square now, bro. Hit me up. Bang my line. Let me know if it don't work. We'll get it together. And anybody else who's been trying to call in, just let me know if you can't get through. It is what it is.
What's wrong with your chirp?
Say that again.
Say what was wrong with your chirp line, Kev, that you had to get together? What's wrong with it?
Well, sometimes you got to switch over to Wi-Fi calling. If you when you're in the studio, you got to switch to Wi-Fi calling because it doesn't get a good signal. So I mean, everything is. I would have to explain to you the full connectivity of my studio in order for you to understand it. So I just, it needs to be on Wi-Fi calling. That's all.
Okay.
He's straight now. Though, because it's actually Bluetooth through the Rodecaster Pro. So like I said, it'd be a real technical conversation. I wouldn't want Sean to get confused. He get dizzy. Mama Jenkins, she said, ain't nothing wrong with a woman getting a little cash to help out with a little sugar, flour, and milk. You got to eat. I don't. Once again, I think inadvertently, and it sounds funny, but I'm being honest. A lot of us are in that kind of trick host situation, anyways, in our relationships, because you really are. Because as a man, and I'm gonna tell you, as a man in a relationship, you spend money on your wife or your woman. You buy her things. You take her. Hold on, you take her places, and when you stop, she shut it down. Ain't nothing popping. Nothing popping. So you say, I gotta get some money, man, so you can buy some more. Dion, what it do, man? Welcome to Outlaw Pimping Radio.
Nothing, man. Just wanted to say hey to the guys. How y'all doing on this Monday?
Shed some light on
you guys. Had a fantastic weekend with the remote control cars and shit. I had dipped out and went out of town to Merrillville, Indiana for a little while. I ain't even see no bras up at Merrillville though. Normally, if I go somewhere, I'm gonna see something nice. I ain't keep it a buck with you. I ain't see nothing. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, though.
Well, maybe because you was in Merrillville.
Like I was saying,
I don't know who.
Yeah, I don't know though. But Merrillville, right across the alley from GI.
Okay.
From Gary.
Okay.
But yeah, though, Kev. I wanted to elaborate. You was talking about that gentleman coming here from Portland, I think. But you got to understand, though, Westcott and Sterling Brown was an NBA player at the time that the Milwaukee police stood on his ankle. See, we sweep stuff like that up under the rug and be like,
Dion.
I know if I was an NBA player, I'd be like, man, what up?
Dion. LeBron James signed with the LA Lakers, and I believe Rodney King got his ass whooped on videotape. That didn't stop LeBron from signing with LA. How many people? How many people been murdered?
No, I was just saying.
Right.
I was just using that as an example. But sometimes with my things with some of the players, like I watch TV. I watch all the sports and bullshit. I'll be sitting there thinking, I'll be like, look at these niggas. And I want to know how many of these niggas really hate these white folks. The coaches be hugging them. Like Notre Dame, that's the whitest college you could get. And you be seeing all them Peckerwoods in the crowd cheering for them niggas when they be making. As soon as them niggas do something, they turn their back on. Just like, damn, I hope that road ain't closed. Man, I hope this road ain't closed. Man, it's gonna fuck me all up. But anyway, though, so that's what I don't be liking sometimes. Like, I don't really like Giannis. Every time I see that nigga, he giving little white boys some his shoes and shit. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what I be looking at. Like, that's why, it's probably meant for me never to be rich or anything like that because I'm a nigga, bro. I told people, anywhere I go, I was tripping because, in Merrillville, I'm riding through the parking lot bumping Boosie. Get your ass out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, this murder mill here. Because, anywhere, Milwaukee, we got a different thing. I noticed that because I'm representing where I go. I don't give a fuck. You understand what I'm saying? In Milwaukee, we ratchet, we ghetto, we hood, we everything. If I could be the ambassador for Milwaukee when I go somewhere, they'd be like, them niggas in Milwaukee. Because that nigga right there. But I'll be on 10, bro. I'll be on 20. And if I had Big Bumper with me, on my mama, I'll probably be caught a body in another state. You know what I'm saying? But on the real, though, I'll be taking it easy, though. But Yeah, no, that's what be killing me about some of these players, man.
Wait.
Callan Kaepernick.
Dion, you can't say you be on 10 and you would catch a body if you had a gun and then say, but I be chilling though. No, you don't be chilling.
I be on 100. I don't know why you be bullshitting. I don't know why you be bullshitting. I've been like, yeah. But yeah, though, so that's just like with Justin Fields, right? He's garbage. And I don't know what, I'm never been an athlete in my life. I've been a gangster forever. I ain't never played no sports, basketball, none of that shit. I watch it, but I never played it. But Justin Fields, that boy over there, they need to get another quarterback or something, man, because I don't know what's going on over there in Chicago.
Who cares? It's the Bears. Who cares? It's the Bears.
I'm one of these type of people. I like sports. I'm a Midwest guy. I'm Midwest from Minnesota. I ain't too fond of the Bears, but hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I like Minnesota, Indiana, Cleveland, all that. You know what I'm saying? But, maybe Colin Kaepernick, he needs to come back up in there. But my thing is this, though. That's what I call to say. I don't give a fuck about none of them NBA players, you know what I'm saying? Because the only reason a lot of them stepped up when George Floyd got killed, because the world stood up. It'd be all type of shit going on. Like, what's that boy named Kyrie Irving? He didn't even do shit. He got enough money where he could have let him kiss his ass. Like, when do you keep your integrity? You know what I'm saying? They hold him, made him come back and apologize. They could come suck on his cock. You know what I'm saying? They hold him. He had enough money where he could have just been like, man, fuck this game. Y'all ain't about to take my integrity from that. Y'all can kiss my ass and expose the NBA and whoever else he could expose for what they is. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? It just be like that sometimes, but, I'm going to hang up and keep listening to you guys. Yeah, Sean, I did, because I just got back in town last night. Man, I'm going to tell you how Milwaukee is, right? Came from Indiana through Chicago, everywhere. As soon as I get off on Fonda, like at the highway up there, I see a goddamn accident. I had to come down to Tatonia. That's how I passed the tent. The car looked black to me, bro. I just seen the car.
I was in there.
I didn't want it, because I didn't know if that was you over there. But if I know you be out there 24/7, I slide through a fuck with you, blow the horn. You know what I'm saying?
Most of the time,
man. I know you gonna bang some up in that motherfucker. Got some nappy cappy or something up in that bitch.
I thought you was finna hang up. Yeah, I thought you was finna hang up.
I am gonna hang up. Hey, but I love you guys. Hey, Courtney, I ain't gonna stop though. Persistence is a motherfucker though. You understand what I'm saying? You can't expose no real P. You understand? For real. I'm gonna let them go. Love y'all niggas.
For self.
Got my.
Listen, it's Outlaw Radio for damn sure now. Like I don't know, you can't really fake this, right? This is not scripted. So, he said he ain't giving up, Courtney. He said he ain't giving up.
I know. I just blocked him earlier today because he not. He keep on inboxing. He won't stop. He not, and that's that's all right. I love you too.
Every night I got to prove my love. It's a crazy world we live.
Yeah, it's like
P don't only stand for pivot. It stands for persistent.
That's right. You know what I'm saying?
Let me go to my chat room, man. Y'all crazy as hell.
You gotta be persistent around here, man.
Sharon Evans said Dion keeps it 100. Dion keep it 200. Mama Jenkins said he got paid from the city taxpayer. Somebody said he was out buying trim and getting some condoms, $750,000. Who we talking about now?
Right.
He was out getting condoms.
Basketball player.
Hey, Miller. That's somebody. Oh, they done put it on. Yeah, welcome to Milwaukee.
Basketball player. The one who was buying pussy over on the south side. Got the Walgreens and stuff. Yeah,
he was. Because who's at a Walgreens on the south side at 5 o'clock in the morning? That don't get him the right to stomp on him.
He should have called on Pimpin', so I could have set that up for him.
He probably was maybe he was getting condoms.
He was.
That's a reason. Hey, that's a reason to be at Walgreens at 3 a.m.
I mean, but if a man is out doing what he do, he ain't bothering nobody. He don't deserve to be stomped on by the police. I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah.
He did get paid for it though.
Sterling Brown, you right, Mama Jenkins. Yes, he did. He got $75,000, I believe, which I don't even think he was making that much because he wasn't a top tier NBA player. So he might have been making, I don't know. Let me stop because that probably wasn't shit to him. He went like Courtney said, he probably went and bought some shoes.
So be me over here. I'm like, I would have wanted more than $75,000.
Now,
He
have
didn't
y'all
go
got a
through the proper
chance?
protocol
Have y'all got a chance to see this
and
sister in
caught him.
Texas? This Texas representative, Jasmine Crockett, going absolutely ham on Trump, right? And there's proof right now, because people tend to come on here and talk about, especially my people, black people, saying a lot of us that they like Trump and they'd vote for Trump and Trump was a good president and they miss Trump. And this is our people saying this, and they're continuously proving that this dude was really just double dealing with China, right? And
guess where Jasmine Crockett was last week?
in DC with y'all.
You that's right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I just
Was she fighting?
Just no. I don't think so. I hope not.
Oh,
It probably was her. She probably started that shit, right?
Right.
Got her ass twisted out there. What was the girl saying on the video? Keisha. What was she saying back in the day?
What?
Starkeisha.
Starkeisha. Oh my gosh.
Starkeisha. Y'all know how y'all be. The Dion just said, we from Milwaukee, we black, we ratchet, we niggas, we ghetto, we hood. That's who we is. Everywhere we go.
But it's very true, because anytime you go to a different city, you damn near know kind of Milwaukee motherfuckers, and motherfuckers recognize because we different. Rather it's our style, especially our style, the way we talk. Like we are definitely different, and you can tell if you from a different city. Motherfuckers like, where y'all from? Because even in the club, we was all together, and this dude from Alabama was like, where y'all from? Chicago? I'm like, the way y'all just mob together like a unit. Like no, Milwaukee. Jamil.
Sean is desperate to get this out tonight. Darren Evans said Sterling Brown didn't keep the money, he gave it to charity, so he didn't buy no shoes.
He should have,
it's pimping. I wonder.
Oh my gosh!
So they took him to jail, because I was going to say after they let him, did they let him go and then he limped in there and got his condoms and left? I don't know what happened. I want to talk about Jasmine Crockett.
Kev? Hold on. Can you imagine, Kev? Like, you going to get some condoms, you finna have some sex, and your shit just get interrupted. Police stepped on your ankles. You was just trying to grab some condoms and get back.
Yeah, but see, I'm also from Milwaukee, so I know I ain't got no business on the south side at Walgreens at 3:00 in the morning. Right? Like you got a better chance on the north side going to one of them 24-hour gas stations. And if you don't get robbed, you get out of there with your hats. But you on the south side, player.
He was messing with a Latina.
Right. Well, he didn't know the turf. He didn't know the soil. That's why he got
stomped on.
He was
messing with a height. He wasn't messing with Latina. He was messing with a height.
It was a Latina that he didn't know was a height. See,
wow.
He didn't know
okay. Well,
more heroin addicted immigrants, right?
He should have called prostitutes out here sometimes, you know.
But I still want to talk about this sister exposing Trump, because and I hear black people saying Trump won't get any time. I hear them saying, it ain't, but these charges against him they stacked up to the point where if he doesn't get time, I don't want to say some ain't right, because it is the American justice system, right? So we already know how that play out. But there's an issue. There's serious concern if he beats these charges. Now, this has never happened before, because where do you lock a former president up at? Where do you put him? He going to Camp Fed somewhere.
Jail.
Well, you ain't gonna have Trump walking the yard. Okay. Like I said, he's not gonna be on the yard with, on the court hooping. Pass me the ball. Let's get some horse.
I'm saying, where would they put Barack Obama? Will Barack Obama have to walk the yard? Because you know what I'm saying? I just want to know if it was Obama,
in the county jail.
Right.
No. Barack.
Put him where you would put Obama.
Barack wouldn't walk the yard either. He's a former president. He has you get Secret Service for the rest of your life when you are president, and I don't think a felony or a conviction would change that.
Sometimes they be trying to do niggas wrong and shit. Trying to prove a point. We're gonna put you as general population. Like, hold the fuck on. They be trying to do niggas different. It'd be
Can I ask y'all a question?
Everything they do.
As long as it ain't about pimping, please don't ask no pimp questions.
It ain't about pimping. Listen, we talking about niggas. Trump is a nigga.
Oh my God.
Send his ass to jail.
Trump.
Send his ass to jail.
Okay, I don't know. What does that mean? Trump is a nigga. What does that mean?
To the ignorant, if we're going to the ignorant definition
we are.
of nigga, then yes.
Yeah,
he's definitely a
Trump
nigga.
is, man, listen, man, you've never met a nigga like Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's white. That's probably why I've never met a nigga like Trump, because he's a white man
Well,
and
hey,
he is a
I don't
rich
lie.
white man, so he's the furthest from a nigga that you could possibly be, actually. And if
I
anybody
don't
think
know.
Trump is ignorant, they short-sighted. Trump became the president of the United States. This man is a businessman who's declared
By
bankruptcy
building,
more times than anybody else, been involved in so much different stuff, and worked his way to becoming the president of the United States. You don't do that if you're ignorant or you're not intelligent. You got to give him credit. He is an intelligent, crafty individual. Who is this in the chat room? I see POW music. POW music. He said, I heard something about 1 billion in fraud. Man, I wouldn't even lie about what I paid for a used car at the DMV. You know what? The fraud is part of it. There's so much with Trump. That's what I'm saying. These charges are stacking up. Sharon Evans said the
the
Aryan brothers have his
POW,
back. Dion says
Hell
he'll
yeah, they
go
do.
where Gary George went to. Yeah, Gary George went to Camp
right.
Fed. Yeah, if you know about Gary George, ironically, I just had a conversation about this last night with Ram Muhammad. Shout out to Ram Muhammad. We were talking about Gary
Does
George. Look
POW
that up.
stand for pimping on women?
Oh my
Absolutely
God.
not. I think it stands for
okay.
prisoner of
Pimping
war.
on women
Okay.
music.
He
I
said
know it's not.
he's
My
listening.
bad.
POW music. Shout out to you, my brother. Dion said he did what Reagan did. Reagan was a smart individual too, who had the right people around him because he was a B movie actor. Reagan wasn't even an A-list actor; he was a B-list actor, and he became
He
the
was
governor of
almost A.
California, and really found out how to get power, and that's how he became the president. It's Reagan was a smart dude too. I'm not my favorite politician, but he was a smart individual. He said, ha ha ha, no, just like empowerment, pow. Oh, pow, not POW, pow music, like
Okay.
pow.
The fact that
Okay.
nobody thought
Okay.
of "pal" first, just the word.
It's
I
just who
really
we
don't
are, right? It's just who we are,
think
right?
It's
everything
Outlaw
stands
Radio,
for
baby.
something, huh?
Same
I
reason,
start
the
saying
same reason we say refrigerator, right? Instead of refrigerator. Where's the in the refrigerator, right? Right.
I
I don't say that.
do I
You
say
say that
refrigerator?
shit.
I was gonna say I don't think I say refrigerator. I say
Well, maybe
refrigerator.
y'all more articulate than me,
Yeah,
because I will bust out refrigerator in a minute. Refrigerator, go look in the refrigerator.
I guess I'll be like,
He,
it's in the fridge. I'm gonna let you. Yeah, it's in the fridge,
he
not
said
refrigerator.
Pow Music said bad branding on my part. No, because if you didn't capitalize all of it, I shouldn't have said POW. That was me with my dumb ass. So I mean, like Sean said, I went to King. What can you expect?
You be having a moment sometime. It's
Right.
okay. It's some older
Never mind the multiple college degrees, the damn near
right.
PhD status, and the obvious like huge IQ. Like, never mind all that. I said Pow wrong.
Does
So
that mean
he's a
that
dumbass.
you like a nurse or something?
Well, PhD. I said PhD. I don't think
almost. You like a nurse?
Yeah,
or
that
something?
means I'm all but dissertation, meaning I completed 3 years of coursework and not the dissertation. He said, "Am I a nurse?"
All right.
Okay, I don't know. See, he just assumed that's that incarcerated mind state. Like, are you the nurse? Right? Like, no, I'm not the nurse, bro. I'm not the nurse. Can you tell me how to get to her? No, I don't know where her office is. Sorry, Sean.
Oh my
He had a
God.
flashback,
Hey,
y'all. He had a flashback.
You laughing a little bit too hard, Courtney. You laughing a little bit too hard around this motherfucker.
She could laugh, man. Don't be trying to intimidate nobody. You see you in that jail shit again, trying to intimidate people. Don't be laughing. Don't be laughing. Like, stop, Sean.
That's exactly how niggas be in jail.
Right.
That shit's hilarious.
Right. Probably eating his oodles and noodles, calling shots. Like, I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. I'm about to drop a dime. I don't like that shit. Might as well get a banana.
This hamburger and fries, motherfucker.
Oh, okay. There you go. You done stepped your game up.
Hey, whoa.
Sharon Evans said player. She said it's a player hater degree, Sean. Right. I got a PhD. I got a player hater degree. I actually do.
I believe
right.
it.
I hate fat cats.
Like me.
Right. Hating
Don't
on
want me
you.
talking about pimping. Don't
right,
want me talking about pimping.
Right. You
Courtney was having a discussion about pimping. You gonna end it.
Yeah, we had to because really there's no pimps on the show. Rail is pro pimping.
But I mean, I like talking about pimping. Pimping was a whole era. Like, I knew nothing about pimping till I moved to Milwaukee. Nigga, it was the pimping capital,
man, listen,
pimping Ken.
I done got some hoe money before.
Start watching. Pimp, Milwaukee is a different type of place. Like, wow. Like,
I done got some home money
wow,
before. I was raised around pimping,
man.
raised up by pimping. I understand
It
pimping.
was
Pimping is
it was lots
pimping
of pimps
when
here.
pimping is
Kev,
pimping, my nigga.
who knew? God damn it. You know?
Pimpin' been pimping since Pippin been pimping.
Pimping
Man.
and pimping. This is pimp's paradise at one moment. Shit.
You know,
It was.
there's
Wow.
truth to the fact that the feds had labeled Milwaukee, and this was just a couple years ago, the round table for because they was recording.
So
They
pimping.
had all these pimps under surveillance, and they would come here and learn how to do it, and they would meet at round tables and have counsel and give up, trade secrets and stuff
You
like that.
laced
So,
up.
well, and this city also had a very large industrial background where it was always a lot of money floating around. So, hey, it was, I mean, but I would like to think that we've progressed past the exploitation part of it because, like I said, a lot of y'all in y'all relationships out there right now are being pimped, and you would
Yeah, a
never
lot of
admit
y'all
it.
are.
You hear women right now, they say, "Girl, I don't mess with no man who ain't got no money." And so, what
And
does
don't
that
see
mean?
none of it. She
Well,
mess
but
with a
what does
dude
that
with a
mean?
nice car.
Ooh.
So
Right. A
that
lot of
means
chicks will fuck you just because your shit is nice. And I never understood that. Like, shit, that car ain't mine. He ain't finna give it to me. Fuck that nigga having that nice ass whip.
so basically she's actually worse than a whore because a whore gets paid. So she's a
No,
professional, and
a
I don't like to
prostitute gets paid.
I
A
don't like
whore
to make
doesn't.
them I don't like to make these kind of like distinguish the two on the show. But I mean, that's a conversation we don't even have to go on because ain't nobody here pimping. We talk about empowering the black family and raising our kids. Now, if this becomes free
Speak for
enterprise
yourself, player.
or you say the red light district is now legal, then we'll have that conversation. But I'm not gonna waste time on here. It's
And what
funny.
you mean pimps ain't on this show? Like,
Nah,
Right.
you are
Fuck.
you a
listen, you
pimp?
don't know who was pimping. You don't know who
You
still
gonna
pimping. You don't
you
know
gonna
what's
stop
going on. We
disrespecting
might have some
pimping,
stories. We
KB.
might want to talk about our past lives. You know, you don't know what was
You
going
just
Right.
on
said you
pimping.
didn't even
It's
you
healing.
just said you didn't even know
Hey,
what
it's healing.
pimping was until you moved to Milwaukee, and now she's saying, "Well, you don't know
Exactly,
about my
Kev.
past life."
It's healing
So
We
you
might
don't
past.
we
think I
might
know what's
need to
going on before I
divulge
got
this
here?
shit. It's healing, man. It's healing.
Right. I
Man,
ran a
See,
brothel in my teens. Like,
look, exactly, Kev. I got here. You know what I'm saying? In middle school, by the time I was in high school, I was kicked out. I'm kicking it with different chicks. A lot of chicks just having the sex. And they like, yeah, he bought me some shoes. I'm just trying to get some boots. And,
yeah,
I'm trying to put a you did together. I'm like, really? We
right.
could just woo, 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 woo.
Courtney
I was
recognized
trying to,
pimping on the
I
show.
caught on. You know what I'm saying? I moved here, seen it, and caught on. Like, oh, I know what we could do around this motherfucker.
let me ask you a
But
question
it's not
though.
right.
And
It's
now
not right,
and
cuz.
now she
Did you talk about this with the caucus in DC?
No, I'm talking about it with y'all. Y'all, this is therapy right here. What you
I,
mean?
right. This
I
therapy
would
for
hope for
you.
one of the, I hope one of them didn't tune in and be like, this very young sister, man, got it going on. She got a whole bunch of organizations. She represent the village, and then I seen her on podcast talking about she ran a brothel.
Talk
Like,
about she got hoes.
She got hoes in different area codes
Right, said
now.
what? But that be all that's the character story. They be like, wow, she's done a lot.
yeah, obviously so. Shannon told his story. I mean, what y'all better watch out for is the Keefe D syndrome. And I hope people have learned from Keefe D. If you haven't heard, Keefe D, who was the uncle of Orlando Anderson, who allegedly murdered Tupac in 96. And so Keefe D in 2019 wrote a book called Compton Street Legend, in which he detailed being in the car with Orlando and two of his homies and handing the gun over. And so Keefe D
Man, I'm telling you.
had allegedly had a proffer agreement with the federal government because he was a real huge drug dealer. And so he thought that he had immunity. And so they circled the wagons, they raided his home. He's been on every podcast telling this story over and over and over and over and over again. And finally, he's about to be charged for the murder of Tupac Shakur. And so people now, you got to be real careful. And like, there's one of these big deals about being on these platforms, Vlad and other platforms, Vlad being the biggest one, in which people were saying, hey, man, the feds actually watch this
Mad
shit,
police.
man. They like, you got to be careful because and we know that the feds are listening. You know that they're observing what's being said. So I tell people all the time, don't be so quick to jump out here and talk about what you did when you on the internet. You might think ain't nobody gonna see this. And you don't know. So and some shit it ain't no statute of limitations on. So people get to running their mouths and shit, and it can be very detrimental to you. But I feel like because it was so much in terms of people saying conspiracy theory about Tupac's murder, and then just in the last few years there became the conversation, well, this is what really happened. It was retaliation as a result of some gangbang stuff, and it gave a kind of like a new picture to what actually happened that night. Because back then there was no Twitter, there was no Instagram. We heard what happened. We didn't see it. We weren't there, and by and large, people didn't really tell their business back then like they do now. Anything for clicks and likes. You get out here talking about, yeah, I had this building on 25th and Birdline. I used to sell heroin out the downstairs, and yeah, I was getting money. And then they trace some overdose murder to it and say, oh, he was the one who ran that spot. Let's go charge him retroactively. You never know what can happen. The moral of the story is shut your goddamn mouth. Stop talking all the time. And if you don't talk, make sure you ain't incriminating yourself. Right? So
there's a TBD in every hood, bro.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Yes, and you probably know one very well, right? Like, I'm not saying you specifically, but I'm saying people in general. If you've been in the streets, I had to come to this realization. If you've been involved in the streets in any way, and you got homeboys who've been involved in the streets, a couple of your homeboys is probably snitches. It's just the reality of the way the game works. And a lot of dudes catch secret cases, and you don't even know he's caught it. And he says, well, I don't want to turn in nobody that I know. That's the oldest trick in the book. Okay, well, but you're going to give us information. And they do. I know it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe for me because I used to think my guy's so thorough. Nah, nobody who I rock with would ever snitch. Then I start thinking about it like, there's some mysterious goings on in the neighborhood over the years. And you think about who went to jail and who didn't and who's been and who hasn't, myself included. I've never been, so I thought at one point people thought maybe I'm a snitch. But I wasn't doing no crime, so I didn't have no reason to snitch. So unless they, investigating school teachers saying give us information. But, you got to think about it like that, especially if you still in that game. You got to be real careful. Mama Jenkins says, Milwaukee is a wealthy city, and the welfare system had a lot to do with women giving a man money here back in the day. Women took care of their men. Most of the women was getting checks, and the man was living in the house doing shit but pimping. I mean, it's a lot of truth to the fact that when it comes to Milwaukee, pimping is a thing and always has been. I mean, if you grew up during my era, you saw these dudes. You saw real ones. And I grew up on Atkinson, and I can remember back in the days when prostitutes were still pretty. I'm talking about real Cadillacs, real, Lincolns, and these dudes with the taco meat, with the gold chain, with the spoon hanging on their necklace. Like, I seen this shit growing up. So it's a lot of truth to the fact that has a real base here. Armed Black Americans here, man, shout out to Eagle Eyes, Armed Black Americans. I know the difference. I know your names now. Shout out to Eagle Eyes Security LLC, our sponsor. Did the videos, has been doing video work for us, been doing some dope ads. Shout out to him. He said Vlad TV is the feds. Keefy D was straight until he got on there telling the story. Yeah. And now Vlad is actually saying he won't participate in any investigation into Keefy D. Well, you don't have a choice.
Hey, but that's the thing. Hey, but that's the thing right there. You know what I mean? Like I remember a while back they were saying Vlad was the snitch. But the thing, he ain't doing nothing but doing his job by doing the interviews. It's everybody that's saying the shit, the snitching on themselves for telling on other motherfuckers.
Right.
He ain't the snitch. He just asking questions.
Keefy D is not the only one who's gotten in trouble after a Vlad interview. It's been Taxstone, all these dudes. If you live in the Podverse, they've gotten in trouble going on Vlad.
Hey, and it's probably more than just that. More than just Vlad what they sweating him for. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's a slew of interviews he done.
That motherfucker wrote a book saying he did it with his dumb ass.
It was, I think, heat by him saying, because that's an old defense. And even T.I. made a joke about that, saying he caught a gun case one time and he basically blamed it on his cousin because his cousin was deceased. And that's what him and Lil Boosie were having issues over, and they little joint album never came out and all this kind of stuff. Because the words, this is why they tell you in the Miranda rights, you got the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. That's why they say you have the right to an attorney. If you don't have one, the courts will assign you one. That's telling you, be quiet. That's why I hate watching the first 48, right? Like, and I think the show is scripted to a certain degree, because I see individuals go in there and they say, hey, we got you, so and so told us you did it, we know you did it, and people eventually say, no, man, it was him, instead of saying, man, I want a lawyer. I'm not saying shit till y'all give me a lawyer. Shit, I want my lawyer right now. I'm not saying nothing.
I'll be back. I gotta go grab a soda. I'll be back.
Right. Yeah, we sorry to interrupt your dinner while you right. Let me go grab a soda. Right. Go ahead, come on.
No, I was just saying, that's it, man. I was agreeing with you and shit, really.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not pretending that I know the law and all this. I'm just saying the Miranda rights make it clear on what, like, when they say that to you, listen, you under arrest, but you don't got to say shit to me. You don't have to say nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So as soon as they slap them cuffs on you, it should be all right.
Because the thing is, you know what I mean? If they got you on something, they gonna hold you. You know what I mean? And if they don't got nothing and you don't say shit, nigga, they finna let you go.
No matter how they lie to you.
It's simple as that. You know what I mean? When the interrogation is over, you would know if they got you.
Well, especially if you say, yeah, it was me or it was my guy.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, if you don't say shit, you just go in there and tell them I ain't got nothing to say. Now, if they hold you, nigga, they got something.
And they come with the old hair and what do you say? The hair in the Ziploc bag trick. Like, hey, this is your hair. We already tested your DNA. Really? You tested my DNA in 45 minutes? I only been down here an hour. Motherfuckers, oh man, it was dude. Like, come on, man. Even if you say your guy is in the next room snitching, I'll be like, oh, word? What is he saying? I like to hear it myself. As a matter of fact, I like to hear it along with my lawyer. Can you get my lawyer, please? Can you get my lawyer? That would be my only thing is, can you get my lawyer? Are you going to be gone a long time? That's fine. I'd like to talk about it with my attorney. But people, I guess people get in there and it's a little, I mean, the one time I did go and they wanted information about some of the homies. First of all, I didn't really have anything to give them. But second of all, it wasn't really like, I mean, I'm like, well, that ain't got nothing to do with me. So why are you asking me that? I don't like, it was like, I don't know nobody's name or, you don't know nobody's government name. I wasn't playing that game with them where they could use me against them. So, and I was a rookie. I was green. I just knew when you get down there, shut the fuck up. That's all I ever heard from my big homies. Dog, if you ever get down there, just close your mouth and you'll be okay. Like, all right, well, we'll see. Sharon Evans said maybe he just wanted to confess and get it off his chest. Well, he's 60-something years old. He is a cancer survivor. That may be the point, Sharon. The dude who used to rap with P. Diddy, G. Depp, he did a murder a long time ago, and he came out and confessed, and he had beat it clear. And I think he did his 10, 12 years before, and he did it. And he came out and confessed, and he's doing his time. So sometimes it may bother people, And if Keefe D has sat around and thought about the impact of what they did that night, because people say, well, Pac got what he deserved because he got involved in gangbang business. But do you really deserve to get murdered because y'all, I mean, and y'all jumped somebody, right? We saw it. But should you be shot up? Or should he pull up and say, nah, you and him, y'all go head up? I'm thinking differently, right? So the impact of what he did or what they did that night, like I just felt like people say, well, Pac deserves it. So I'm like, well, how did he deserve it? He should have never did that. What's a lot of shit we shouldn't have never did? Did we deserve to die for it? I mean, all of us have done something we should not have done. You feel me? But I guess we all take that risk. Who said occupational hazard? Who said that on the show? Somebody's like, it's an occupational hazard if you out here in the streets. If you out here gangbanging, that's just part of what can happen to you. So maybe he is, though. Maybe he is.
I thought
it still don't mean that's what you get.
That's the next chain of events. I mean, He go fight, jump, then somebody get shot. Like
nowadays, and in that culture too, in that especially in that 90s gangbang culture, like yeah, it was yeah, a lot of murder, just murder. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to gangbanging. I just like I said, if he in fact was the one, maybe he lied on his nephew. A lot of people say he did it, and they say he lied on his nephew because his nephew is deceased, and the other two cats that was in the car are deceased as well. So well, we won't know. Well, I tell you this: the feds know something that we don't know right now. And I'll tell you something else that you got to pay attention to because this man has steadily been uh uh saying Puffy's name over and over. He's been implicating Puffy over and over. And I'm thinking like Puff somewhere like, oh shit. Because when the
Right.
feds start subpoenaing, they start subpoenaing everybody, right?
Right.
And so, Mr. Combs, you ain't got enough money to deduct the feds, bro. you, and Johnny Cochran is dead, so you know you had to get Crump or somebody. Paris LaShawn, peace out, laws from the Mile High Income City, Frontline Black News, and Shabaka's Black Experienced Enhanced. How you doing, my brother? Welcome to the show.
Peace.
Monday night, we taking it easy, kicking back. It is live from the basement. Man, it's crazy. Because once again, the murder of Tupac has it's become an industry in itself. Documentaries, movies, podcasts, DVDs back in the days, like it's TV series. Just his murder. We ain't talking about his music, just his murder. And it's like maybe Keefe D said this ain't something small. This is like a black JFK. This is like the murder of the black JFK, right? And so, you know, we'll see how it plays out. We'll see. Justice, you know, Justice. I seen his last interview. He was on the Art of Dialogue, which is something else that I watch. I don't know if y'all watch Art and the Art of Dialogue, and Art does great interviews. But he's like a Black Vlad, where he'll ask you the questions and you just basically get on there and tell your story. And he asked him, like, okay, what if you are arrested for this? Because Reggie Wright Jr., who is the former head of security at Death Row, who's also a former Compton police officer, he predicted last year that Keefe D would soon be arrested for the murder of Tupac Shakur. And everybody's like, Reggie, I don't know what the fuck he talking about, but lo and behold, right? And so, you know, Art asked him if you are arrested. He said, well, you know what? If I do get arrested, I just get arrested. He said, the Lord got me. I'm gonna stand tall and stand tall through it all and try to get myself out of it. But if he, right, he didn't say, oh man, yeah. He said if I get arrested on this, it is what it is, basically. So, you know, good luck, Keefe. Good luck. I had another thing because we talked about this last week, but it has legs now, and it has more legs than I thought it would in terms of the culture, because of this argument that NWA brought destruction. They are the ones who started the destruction of hip hop. Comments made by Special Ed, and I've been, once again, I live in the podverse, so I apologize, y'all. I'm always on YouTube. I'm always watching somebody's platform. And I seen where Lord Jamar, who is somebody who I actually am a supporter of, his podcast, his music. I loved Brand Nubians. And he was on with Rod Digger from Flip Mode Squad, and they were saying how there's merit to the statement that NWA brought in the destruction of the culture. And I'm like, it just makes me understand more and more, like I said last week, how hypocritical New York hip hop fans are. And also how blind they are. Like, I don't understand how you, in your city, where crack had already decimated almost every borough, Brooklyn, the Bronx, crack, people were dying every day. And for you to say because they rapped about fuck the police, it brought the destruction of the culture. I'm like, nah, you got to look at real life. And I think a lot of what it comes down to is a lot of East Coast rappers, especially those back in the days who's already popping, Their real problem is they fell off when the West Coast took over. All of a sudden, y'all albums wasn't selling no more. All of a sudden, you wasn't on tour no more. Def Jam almost died, right? Warren G saved Def Jam. His album saved Def Jam. And Warren G's from the West Coast. And I think they feel a little bit salty about that. I think they always have. But when you start talking about, well, Wu-Tang was for the kids and they popped Positivity. And I'm like, no, you wasn't listening to the same Wu-Tang I listened to, because I remember on their first album, they had this thing about where they was on talking about how to torture people. And we're going to sew your butthole shut and just keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding you. Remember that come out on their first album where they had this long song where they were talking about different ways to torture people? And I'm like, well, that's for the kids. They can't see that. They can't see that their number one favorite rapper of all times, Biggie Smalls, the Notorious B.I.G., was for all intents and purposes an East Coast gangster rapper. That's all he was. That's all he was. And so, but even more so before that, you say, well, NWA brought the gangster shit in, but Schoolie D, who's from Philadelphia, made Park Street Killers in 86, I believe. That was widely acknowledged as the first gangster rap song, because he's on there talking about the gang that he was in Philly. PSK, what the fuck does that mean? People out there always getting that green. And y'all have heard the beat a million times. If you hear PSK right now, it's actually a dope song. But Ice-T used it to make 6 in the morning. People have sampled it over the years. And that was Schoolie D. He's from Philadelphia. So I'm just like, well, New York, come on, man. Stop it. Yeah, and so there was also, when we talk about the song Fuck the Police, what were they saying on the song though? They weren't saying fuck the police for the hell of it. Right. Because what do they say? Pulling me over, searching my car, looking for the product, thinking every nigga is selling narcotics. You rather see me in the pen than me and Lorenzo in the Benzo.
In the Benzo.
Right. Talking about black police showing out for the white cop. And it was that song, it's more political. When you're young, it just sounds like, oh yeah, fuck the police, ha ha. But this was a real thing. So I'm like, how did that bring? Well, because they said bitch, I guess, or they said, hoe or whatever. That's like saying to me, this is like saying Richard Pryor is responsible for the destruction of stand-up comedy. Because Richard Pryor was the first one to do reality comedy. He was the first one that'll come on and tell the stories and curse and do all this kind of thing. So I just think it's very hypocritical of New York hip hop fans, and I think it's a jealousy thing. I think that they feel they've always felt like, because the West Coast, if you were a rap fan, a hip hop fan at that time, the West Coast came and just took the whole game over. I'm talking about one year we was listening to DDP and Big Daddy Kane, and the next year,
man, NWA blew motherfuckers' minds. That's what it is, man. NWA took when I heard that shit, man. Listen, oh yeah, it was a rap.
Yeah, but Kamar, look at it like this: you're saying on one hand that they brought in destruction. First of all, they didn't really hit until 89, 90, right? And NWA was done after 1990. The 90s was the best period of rap music ever. It's the best time. It's the best era. So how did they bring destruction if the music got so much better after they left?
I feel like they just brought it raw. You know what I mean? They brought it more from our eyes, from what was going on, what we seen at the moment. You know what I mean? It wasn't the same shit going on at that point. Not in LA, especially.
Yeah.
They was highly political. They was highly political on some socially conscious shit. You know what I mean? They even had a record called Express Yourself. Be yourself. Be who you are. Like, you ain't got to be us. You ain't got to be no gangster. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I heard MCA talking about him being a youngster, listening to Eazy-E, and Eazy-E saying, the boys in the hood is always hard. And he was saying, well, if you looked around my neighborhood at that time in Compton, because Crippin' and Blood started in the late 60s, early 60s. So it was around a long time before the first rap. So he was saying, he was really just talking about the neighborhood, literally. And he was never saying, hey, y'all should go do this. He was saying, nah, this was going on in my neighborhood. Like, you can come on as an East Coaster and talk about what you're doing in Brooklyn or what you're doing in Queensbridge, or, you know, I think Rel made the point that even the most conscious Boogie Down Productions, what was they first? Listen to my 9mm go bang. Scholar Rock was murdered. He was murdered before NWA came out in the streets. So
through the dude from
PM Dawn.
yeah, off the stage.
Prince B. Right, so maybe KRS-One started the destruction of hip hop when he threw PM Dawn off. I'm just saying, like, when we start pointing fingers at people saying, "Oh well, that's the single," you know, the reality of it is the culture was started to be watered down and kind of disillusioned when we start selling our when Cold Chillin' Records went out of business, when Def Jam was sold as a corporate tool, when BET was sold, when we lost control of our own industry, that's when it got bad. It ain't about NWA saying fuck the police. So I don't think East Coast cats are looking at the whole big picture. I know they like to think because they're 5%ers and, you know, but a 5%er is a different kind of Muslim anyway. So I would encourage people to look up Clarence 13X and the 5% Nation. Look it up. I got all the respect in the world for the guys in Earth, but I mean, it's a little bit different than what, you know, look him up. Do your research. I feel like New York is just being real hypocritical, and there's always bias when it comes to New York. It always has been. And we know that New Yorkers just hold a chip on their shoulder when it comes to rap. It's they just hold a chip on their shoulder, and they're never going to keep it real. I don't know how you could big up and make movies and have Jay-Z and Cameron act out Rich Porter and AZ and all these dudes who was crack dealers who fucked the community up. The Supreme Team, which 50 Cent had his whole, this is a crack gang, this is a drug gang, but it's NWA's
killers.
Well, it's NWA's fault though. Right? Somebody got an echo. So I don't know who it is. I'll figure it out. Let me see. He said, just TE1 Gaming. He said, Rail the Truth. Okay. Is that some people's rail?
No, I said I appreciate that.
I thought that might be one of your homies. So
I know we linked up on TikTok. I'm telling you, man, I'm expanding my soul tribe, you know, and then I post some snippets of us on here and let them know where they can catch us.
Okay. Yeah. Do that. Everything. It's all good, man. I want to say this too, because I got to get this out before we spend our money in the community, and we always talk about how we get treated as consumers. And what I don't do is I don't spend my money with people who disrespect me. And I've had several confrontations with the owners of Golden Chicken on 65th Villa. Now, I don't know if anybody has encountered these dudes. I'm still getting the echo. It's just like a party and somebody at the club. Y'all got family over? I don't know. I don't. I'm here. Can y'all hear that, or is it just I got on headphones, so it bothers me? That's what I'm saying. I have on headphones, so I can hear literally everything that every mic picks up. But that's what I'm saying. When I got an echo, I can't even move. But no, I went to before I had this problem with them, where I called them and
it's on 68th, man.
68th, wherever it's on Villard. It's probably the last one on the north side. And so I called. This was years ago. I called, and he was getting real smart on the phone. So I told him, you know, fuck you and your chicken. We don't even want it, right? Because I don't do that. I don't spend my money with you if you don't treat me with some respect as a customer. Right. And so years went by, and I would never order from them. So maybe a year ago, I think maybe a year, my daughter happened to be here. Said, Dad, you know what used to be good when you used to get the golden chicken? I said, all right, well, I'll order some. He was a little jazzy still, but I didn't really, you know, I said, okay, this baby girl. So Sunday, I decided I want to go over there and get my family. Sunday, you know, they want to eat. So we couldn't think of what to eat, went all everywhere. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'll just grab some chicken. And man, first of all, he got Jazzy on the phone. And then when I got there, he's like, well, where's your ID? I'm like, ID? What? You know what I mean? Like, so I said, I
Were
don't
you
have it.
drinking?
He said, no chicken for you then.
like the Seinfeld episode, the no soup for you.
Type shit, right?
Bro got the Seinfeld. Hey, bro, you upper echelon now.
Yeah, man. I used to crack up at that shit.
So I remember I do have my wallet. I do have my ID on me, right? So I you know what? Let me go back in here, get the food, and so I go back in there and I said, you know what? I do got my ID, and he's like, what? I said, hold on, man. First of all, I'm a grown ass man. Like, you need to talk to me with some respect. And so he's like, well, it's $35 or whatever it was, and yeah, what you said, I heard what you said, and I'm one too. I said, wait a minute, what you just said to me? He said, well, I'm a grown man too. I said, man, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you and this chicken. You can take this chicken and stick it up your motherfucking ass. And I turned around and it was two older sisters, and they was obviously coming from church. So I had to say, excuse my language, ladies. I apologize. But fuck this hunky. And I had to leave. The moral of the story being is don't get no food from there. You can see the disrespect in this dude's face, man. You could see he don't value us as, like I bet you it disgusts him to have to come to work. I don't know if his family owned that, because I know Golden Chicken is like a Milwaukee thing, and there used to be several of them all over the north side. But I really, like I said, I would encourage anybody else out there, if you go into business and they're not treating you with the respect and the courtesy you deserve as a customer, don't spend your money there.
Right.
Don't spend your money there. But I didn't want to drive. No, look, I drove. I said, you know what? I got gas in my car. I will find somewhere else to buy some chicken. I go take my chances at Popeyes and stand in the line and say an hour and say, we ain't got no chicken, we ain't got no biscuits, we ain't got no. I'll do that with Popeyes before I give my money to a motherfucker that disrespect me. So don't do it, y'all. Don't support these racist. Say what?
The chicken joint up on Lisbon, like 80.
It's not the same. It's not the same. I know what you talk. Champion Chicken, like, I used to take my kids there, get them ice cream, but it got bought out by some people. So the last time we went there, it was like blah. So it was like, nah, man. I don't know. It's a shame that I live in a city that's 40% black, and I'm riding around looking for somewhere that I can buy chicken from, and it's mostly Arabs. But it was Sunday, so what I should have did, real, is I should have went to Dior Gallery and got some plates.
Yep.
Got some plates and came back to the crib, and we ate like that. And I think that's what I'm gonna do from now on a Sunday when my wife don't feel like cooking or whatever, and we say, what we gonna eat? We'll roll up there and patronize some black people and come home with some styrofoam containers.
Tell them Large Marge.
Some of that food in your garden.
Tell them Large Marge.
You said you talk about my garden. What part of my wife didn't feel like cooking do you not understand? I'm not finna be out there. That ain't what I do.
Oh, okay.
I grow it.
Pimping.
My wife is an incredible cook. She don't like to cook. She don't like to cook, but she can lay it out better than me. I don't do greens.
You see how we went over there? Come on.
If we talking about the grill with meat on the grill, I'm the best, but I ain't really cooking no pot of peas and beans. No, we not talking about that no more.
Me, Kamar,
I'm still talking about it, and I control your mic whether or not it gets muted or not. So, see how that works? See how easy it is? In and out. Mute. That's my favorite word. Let me see. TE1 Gaming, he said it's the label's fault. We see the artist, we don't see the executive behind the scenes. Is it the label's fault that put NWA out? I mean, I just feel like people, it's easy to point fingers. If you weren't alive in the 80s, if you don't remember the 80s, then you really don't know what the fuck you talking about.
You know what, though? In a sense, I'm going to tell you, though, but in a sense, I can see how, like, okay, when you say the record label.
Right.
The record label could bring NWA out and push the destructive image. You know what I'm saying? To get us up off of the conscious rap. You know what I'm saying? To get us up. I mean, I could kind of see that, but I mean, but at the same time, if you listening to the lyrics, listening to what these brothers were saying, you know what I mean? It wasn't all of that. It's just that shit was going on in the streets. And they was just more about talking about what they was going through and seeing on the streets.
Absolutely. Once again, Kamar, that's what I'm saying.
As was the Conscious Brothers. Now, in their community, you know what I mean, around the people who they was hanging with, you know what I mean? That's the way they kicked it. That's the way they chopped it. So they rapped it. You know what I mean? So, like, you can't really say that was the destruction of it. You know what I mean? You got Philadelphia. We talked about Schoolie D. You know what I mean? Like, it's all over the country where niggas been on gangster shit for years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Even if you go back and listen to DJ Quick, just like Compton, he talked about going to the Bay Area and dealing with Compton. With Oakland. And he said, slanging ain't nothing new. Banging ain't nothing new. And for every nigga we done shot, they done shot too. So this shit is when Tupac say, like, we the first ones to bomb and cuss. Like, it's finger pointing and it's counterproductive. So even with the label thing, Kamar, even people could say, well, I see the labels kind of pushing that narrative. Actually, the conscious rap movement after NWA came out exploded. When was PE bigger? 88, 89, 90, 91. BDP, 88, 89, 90, 91. X-Clan, 89, 90. You see what I'm saying? Like, conscious rap was still the top art form after NWA, after the Ghetto Boys, after Luke. Right. They still, conscious rap was still, New York was still where it came from, and the conscious rap was a big part of it.
So you were saying, like, Rod Digger was, like, what year was she born? Was she born, like, how old is Rod Digger?
I have no clue. I would think she's in her late 50s. She's obviously one of Busta Rhymes' contemporaries, and I do believe Busta Rhymes may be a couple years older than myself. But Rod Digger came along. She was with Buster's crew in the 90s. That's what I'm saying. So she
was born in the 80s and shit like that.
I don't think she was born in the 80s.
No, I'm saying she was at least alive in the 80s, because you was like, you were saying, you know, like, if you're too young to remember. So I'm like, she ain't too young to remember. Like, shit, I think she older than me, and I'm 40.
You might have a point. She probably is of age enough to remember, and that's, first of all, it's their opinion. It's their opinion. But I'm saying to people who don't know, this is what I'm saying to people who aren't in the know. If you were not alive in the 80s, if you cannot remember what happened in our community from 1980 to 1989, it's very hard for you to understand it. It's very hard for you to understand it, because I remember the community before crack. That's why I say BCAC, before crack and after crack.
Right.
I tell people this all the time. It is night and day from me being born in 1975, and from 1975 to 1984, I had the life of Riley. I lived in the most beautiful neighborhood in the world. Black homeowners, black business owners, Cadillacs and Lincolns line the street, beautiful brick homes. These brothers had bars and stores and barbershops and was working 25 and 30 years at A.L. Smith. We had the highest standard of living in America for black people in Milwaukee. 1984 comes, and there's the industrial collapse when the jobs leave. But guess what comes in at the same time? Crack cocaine. So now you got the collapse of an economy, Reaganomics in full effect, trickle down economics. Go do your research and see how it affected Black America. And then nothing was ever the same after that. From 85 to 90, it was like, what the fuck just happened? You didn't know.
I know
the whole community.
Right.
Pimping wasn't the same. Pimps got ran off the corner. When crack dealers came through and robbed the pimps and beat them up. They got all their prostitutes hooked on crack. That's why I said when prostitutes was pretty. Because all of a sudden after 85, they wasn't pretty no more. They were just crackheads, and you was dope dating. You wasn't tricking. You was dope dating. So the whole world changed. And if you wasn't
tricking
scared,
or dope dating?
I think dope dating is a little worse. Just my personal opinion. Y'all can tell how y'all feel. I think dope dating is a little worse.
I think dope dating probably a little worse.
Okay.
Yeah, dope dating worse.
A lot worse.
Dope dating
ain't
is
no little
it's
to it.
pretty low on it. Like
It's bad, bro.
That's low on the totem pole.
Yeah,
It's very low.
because it's a lot of parts of dope. Right.
Don't
Right.
nobody like you. You
It's
know
a
what I
whole
mean?
lot.
You know, and there's more of us
More,
out
you
here.
ain't believing in yourself.
that's
Right.
tough as hell.
Just
That's
over.
tough shit.
Right. Just
You need
man.
to call. You need to call somebody.
You need help. I mean,
Courtney,
it is.
we need to ask Courtney this.
Talk to somebody.
But you got it, Kamar. You remember too, though. Some of this happened when brothers would be in the spot more often. Like he was in that spot 24 hours a day, and he became detached from life. Like brothers wouldn't even change clothes. Would be living on the run, literally, because he's sleeping in his spot trying to get his work off. And so, yeah, sometimes he said, "Hey, why don't you come on in?" Right, and it's like, "Hey, man, y'all good? Y'all good? Y'all?" It was horrible. It was a very bad time for black people. I tell you like that. Sharon Evans said, "Pick and Save got the best chicken." You know, I hit and miss on
They do got some
124
good chicken,
Capitol.
bro.
And that'll be an hour and 20 minutes. I'm not waiting that long. I'm not waiting that long. She said she don't fuck with Popeyes. I generally don't. But this white dude had me so mad. I went to a gas station that I knew back in the days had good Chester chicken and potato wedges and got some from them and then said, well, I can't feed my family Al-Qaeda birds. So I did go to Popeyes and get some more. Like, shit. I was a little emotional, right?
Wow, Al-Qaeda
You
bird.
went and got some Chester chicken. That shit was good, though. He said they talked about what
So
they
you
went
been
through. It's the
having
execs
chicken.
that purposely push the gangster narrative. They can push it all they want, but if you're not a child, if you're not a teenager such as myself and my friends who flocked to the record store to buy this stuff, we wasn't brainwashed. We wasn't remote control. There was no subconscious communication. We wanted to hear that shit. I said, man, Ghetto Boys coming out with a new album. Albums came out every Tuesday. I went to Audio Vibes on Capitol. I knew Larry Miles. I knew everybody in the store. I'm there every Tuesday with my money out. Like, what's new? Well, Rap a Lot released 2 and everything from the West Coast, everything from Houston, I bought. I wasn't brainwashed, and I was very smart about what our struggle was in the country. But this is what I wanted to hear. The reason why I wanted to hear it because I was tired of people watering shit down, which initially is the reason why I started respecting street people more than I respected squares, because squares always lied. People who were supposed to be good church folk, you find out what Reverend Jones doing at the church. But he said
all the secrets
you
and
get $3 whole far, right? Like it's you when you found out what they was doing, it's like, okay, street people was mostly up front. You knew when the thief, you knew who he was,
right?
You knew who the hype was. The prostitute would tell you, baby, I'm out here hoeing. I ain't trying to date. Unless you want to go on a date and pay me. Like, you knew she was a hoe. She didn't perpetrate that she was wholesome. So I started to have more respect for street people because they were up front. And I was like, at least I know who he is, right? Or she is. So I don't think it's about, them, the record company executives, because by and large, once again, NWA really only had 2 albums. And the first ones was independent releases. The second, the 100 miles and running and Niggas for Life. I think Niggas for Life had a major backing behind it, but the group was over after that. So you hanging the hat on the wrong people, and that's just like us to blame each other instead of blaming Ronald Reagan for his fake ass war in South America on some fake ass communists to excuse importing cocaine into the United States in exchange for weapons. That's what you really need to look into. Yeah. So he said, this is TE1 Gaming. He said, have you ever heard Crazy Bones podcast? He exposed this years ago. The execs and the prison owners are the same entities. I understand that, but I'm saying, okay, so once again, he said, who own the facilities that created crack? Well, first of all, crack was created long before it was an epidemic. They called it freebasing. Celebrities did crack because you didn't have enough money. Powder cocaine was expensive. You didn't have enough powder.
They did freebase. They didn't do crack. They didn't call it crack. They were freebase.
Right, it was freebase.
That's not
right.
That should explode on you though. You had to.
But when you when you push so much into the country and the price drops, and now poor people can afford it, so you cook it up and sell it cooked up because you get more bounce to the ounces. They say. I don't want to explain the dope game for people, right? Like, I'm just saying. I heard this allegedly. Somebody told me.
We just went through pimping. Why not?
Paris said, "Yep, same here, Kev. I was the same guy in high school with the music and record releases. I was on it. I was a hip hop junkie. My guys, this is when we could dub cassettes. So my guys would get in the car with a blank tape in their pocket and say, "What you get? It's Tuesday. I'm trying to dub something, bro. Let me give. I know you got something." Because they knew I was gonna go to Audio Vibes and get 2-3 albums, right? And so the cassettes and have my little snatch out in my car and shit. I was a hip hop junkie. So. And I still listened to positive rap at that time. What was still good, because a lot of the shit New York started making at a certain point was garbage. It was like nobody want to hear that shit, man. It's the truth. He said, keyword kid. Kids are easily influenced. Most kids look up to rappers because of their flashy lifestyle. Well, kids who grew up seeing cowboy movies ain't riding around on horses up and down the street shooting at each other with 6-shooters. It's a movie. I watched Commando in 1985 starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. He killed at least 300 people in that movie. I think the only rap group I knew about at that time was Run DMC. Right?
So you don't think music have like any influence on the activities of, like even now where everything promoted now is either fucking or shooting the op or some shit like that. Like I do really think that these kids, like, well, in psychology they say you brainwash and program minds through repetition. What is it? Once you hear something 10 times, it's in you no matter what type shit.
Okay. Now to that I say this. Now I would say that's more the case. With our generation, It wasn't, because first of all, you didn't hear gangster rap on the radio.
Right.
It was underground music, and you had to have access to it to hear it. Right. And most of our parents wasn't letting us. If they hear, they say, "You better turn that shit off in my house." Right. And so it wasn't, you didn't hear that message. Just well, once we got the cassette,
now mama's twerking with their little girls.
But also, here's the switch, Rail. Back then, rappers wanted to be street niggas, because the streets was rapping about what street niggas was doing. Now street niggas want to be rappers. Back then, street dudes laughed at rappers. Like if you look at these major kingpin dudes who was really back in the day, they say, "He ain't got no money. He ain't got no money, bro. What you talking about?" It's like we just flipped 9 keys last week. That man ain't got no money. So go ahead, Kamar.
I think it was more real than it is now. But I think really with the music now, I think it's just reflecting what's going on. Usually that's how music do through all the eras. It usually reflected what was going on in the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And NWA just brought it in such a raw way that we never heard it before. You know what I mean?
We had heard it before, Kamar.
I mean, okay, maybe it wasn't as slick and raw.
It didn't have a beat.
You know what I mean? But I mean, we just never heard it like that.
Well, because Richard Pryor,
there was no 808.
Well, Richard Pryor's doing jokes in the 70s talking about cops put a hurting on your ass, man. Talking about cops beating you up, talking about. Yeah. I remember Milwaukee Police Department was giving out baseball cards because they had beat so much ass and nobody trusted them. They was trying to get the kids to love them again. And that was before I even heard a rap song. Cops was whooping. In our community, that's why my mama used to call cops Mr. Write-Off. And I would say, well, why you call him Mr. Write-Off? Because she said that's what we call a white man down south, because if he rode up on his horse and you wasn't picking enough cotton, he'd be right off his horse and on your ass. So she would call cops Mr. Write-Off because they known for beating your ass. So it wasn't no secret. That's what I'm saying. It was actually liberating and revolutionary for them to say, this is what we dealing with every day in the community, even if we ain't committing crime, even if we ain't gangbangers. We're getting harassed and beat up and killed by police officers. And so I don't think that brought in destruction. People keep saying the labels. Def Jam was a black-owned label. They pushed a lot of bullshit into the community. And that's Russell Simmons and his Jewish benefactors, right? So it wasn't NWA. I'm just saying, if you want to say gangster rap ruined it, fine. I'm going to say it wasn't NWA, because I listened to Too Short and Corrupt talking the other day on Rock the Bells radio on Too Short show, Don't Stop Rapping. And they were talking about, like Kamar said, the impact of cussing to a beat, saying, oh, shit, like a motherfucker. And I always talk about this, the backlash. And Terrell Owens just had a statement where he said today that he tended to date white women and favor white women because black women made fun of him and wouldn't date him. So that's why he was more towards dating white women. What I'm saying to that is we as a generation got dissed by a lot of black women because if we weren't drug dealers, if we didn't have dope dealer money, if we didn't have the flyest car, you got no play. And so brothers got tired of this shit. And so this created this kind of misogynistic movement where we said, man, we don't love these hoes. Man, fuck them bitches, man. The bitch she only out for your loot. Get your money, money over bitches. All them cliches that we start saying in the 90s, that was actually a reaction to us getting shunned.
The trauma.
Like, so you square ass nigga, you ain't got no money. You's a buster. You's a square. This nigga talking about he go to college. My man flip keys. And you standing there like, damn, that's what I got to do to deal with a woman. So it turned into, man, fuck these hoes. And so if you weren't there for that, then you don't understand that either. So, but it wasn't NWA's fault because NWA didn't bring, I don't believe they brought coca or cocaine from South America on planes. I think that was the CIA and the FBI. Am I talking too much? Am I going to wake up?
Did Rodriguez elaborate why she felt that it was the NWA fault?
She may have, but once I saw her agree with Lord Jamar, I turned. I watched it.
Just like the Tupac shit. You just
because I listened to Lord Jamar and I was like, oh, nigga, you too? I thought you was my partner. And I ain't trying to hear this shit. Because I grew up during this shit. And I can tell you, NWA wasn't running the show. Lee and Ida was running the show. That's my mama and my daddy. And wasn't that NWA shit when my mama say, what you say? Nothing. And ain't no, you heard what I said. Mama, the boys in the hood is always motherfucking hard. My mother would have killed your ass. Your ass would have been a dead thug talking that shit to my motherfucker. You had to pull your pants up when you walked in the house. For real. That shit tell you, if I catch you with your pants hanging down, I'm going to kick you right in your ass. And she would. So you got to pull them motherfuckers up when you come in the house. So it wasn't no, and I know people saying, well, Kev, that's your family. Whatever. It's all subjective anyway. So whatever. People have got the right to their opinion. He said, think about it. Why are all the new artists young, broke, and desperate for money? Being broke is not synonymous with talent. They choose to go after those types. Well, first of all, the young artists are making more money. They're making more money off their art form than the old heads ever made. Every old rapper will tell you that today. We was not seeing money like these youngsters are seeing money because they see way more money than it wasn't even that much money in the rap game then because it wasn't widely accepted. It wasn't a global phenomenon.
Are they saying it more off the streams or like
just business wise? It's a whole bunch of, it's a global market now. It was back then. If you came out in Detroit, you had to work in Detroit in that region for 8 years. You was Detroit famous. If you got to be nationwide with rap, you was lucky. Now we talking about the whole planet is on the internet streaming your song. So Kamar, you're right. It's the streams it changed the game for the shit.
Yeah, it's that.
So
like you don't have to be like you don't have, like you say, Kay, you don't have to put the the grind in for 5 years, get noticed or get popping in your
get played on the radio,
and then your name popping. So now a record label come looking for you. That's how it used to have to be. Or you get lucky and get noticed somewhere or something. You know what I mean?
TikTok viral, and then
now you make a slick song and go viral. You know what I'm saying? And you win. You making some money now.
Overnight celebrity. He said, it's not about black or white. Every black man isn't for us. Every white man isn't against us. I think it's all about black and white. I think it's all about black and white. But I said black. I didn't say colored. I didn't say Negro. I said black. You got to understand, black is different from everything else. Black people are different from everything else. And white people hate black people. White people love niggers. They love niggers because they can use them and exploit them and subjugate them and dominate them and oppress them. And most niggers will smile and ask for more. They hate black people who are aware that don't play the game, that don't do the go along to get along. And they scared that black people will convert niggers to black. So that's why it's about black and white. It kills me to hear black people say it's not about black and white. Look behind everything that we're going through right now. Look at the disproportionate levels of everything. Now, can you really say this ain't about black and white? When our median income ain't what theirs is, when our conviction rates for the same charges is disproportionate, when learning achievement gaps are so great in terms of how our kids are educated. Look at in a city where we're income deprived, where people are working 2 jobs, they're working poor. They working 2 jobs just to pay rent in substandard housing. It's motherfuckers working 2 jobs to stay in a barada property. And you wonder why they ain't raising their kids, because they got to be at work so they can have somewhere to stay. And
but you can see, so like even with that, no, I feel what you're saying. But I mean, even with that, it is black. But I think the reason it is black is because we haven't coagulated yet. I mean, like, think of Hispanics that come here with nothing, not even a motherfucking, citizenship. It might be 6 of them living in one house working at McDonald's, getting their shit together, and then they get a food truck, and now they getting back. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with as far as the black shit, but like I always go to that Lyndon B. Johnson quote, who when he said, if we can convince the lowliest white man that he's better than the best black man, not only will we be able to pick his pocket, he'll gladly give us the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think it all boils down to exploitation of the easiest demographic, and we're the easiest demographic because of the shit that happened to us. We haven't been able to coagulate or come together yet.
There's 2 things in that statement. Number one, you can't underestimate the importance of solidarity. You just said Puerto Ricans come here from Puerto Rico. And 9 times out of 10, they come here knowing their family, knowing that they can go to a part of the community where they can eat their foods and speak their language and they network. So we didn't come here that way. That's not how we got here. My cousin in Ghana didn't call my cousin over here and say, how's it going over there? Oh, I have a very good job at a big farm. I pick crops. Hey, well, you should come. You can stay in my hutch with me. It didn't happen like that with us, right? They just rounded us the fuck up and threw us in some boats, and then they made sure they scattered us. So everybody was like, we don't even know what the fuck. You don't know. And then they got in us and raped us and compromised our gene pool. So it's a couple different things. Number 2, a lot of black people like to say Mexicans come over here and stay 30 in the house, and then they go and start a business and they get rich. Actually, they don't. There's so many poor ass Mexicans in this country, so many poor ass Puerto Ricans in this country, so many poor Asians. Sure, there are cases where they do get together and say, let's start a business, and they bubble up. But a lot of them live in abject poverty just like us. They're not that far.
Well, they need to get with the other 30 of them in their house and squat some more and pick some tangerines and get out on the corner and make that shit happen.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I ain't never seen a Mexican begging on the corner. I've seen them ask for work. I ain't never seen them ask for money.
I said get out there with that fruit.
Go to the south side.
I work on the south
side.
Day
fruit better than the Muslim.
I work at the place
go in their hoods, though. Go in their hoods. There's Latino dope fiends, burnt out dope fiends, just like it is in our community. If you go to the right little spot, they'll be in front of the gas station too. Talking about.
Yeah, but they got some good fruit, bro. They fruit better than the Muslims.
Yeah.
Man, when they sprinkle that shit on it with that tahini, that shit is.
Man, all they need is a newspaper, bro, and they'll have me. If they had a newspaper with some suits, boy, they probably have me, man.
Oh my God.
They probably have me, bro.
Shout out to TE1 Gaming. He said I'd have to hit the live one day so you can get my full perspective. Maybe that's something we could work out. Real, that's your people. You can work it out.
Oh, for sure.
He better be ready. He better be ready. We ain't nice around this
TikTok. We be dialoguing.
I mean, we welcome different perspectives, nice, Sean. Don't make it seem like that.
We ain't looking for no new friends either, though. We outlaws. We ain't looking for no new motherfucking friends.
Listen, man, you welcome. We welcome your opinion and your input. Paris said, "Come together for what? Hopefully, something constructive and productive." I hope. Sharon said the family by Culver's that she saw begging was Hispanic. See,
Okay.
once again, we allow society. You got to unplug. You
Just
got to
kill cat, man.
unplug.
You know, I
You
ain't
got to
saying it don't
unplug
exist.
and you got to unlearn. You have to deprogram yourself. Black man, you have been indoctrinated on a very deep level. You go back to your basic education, what you learned from kindergarten on up. You have been indoctrinated into a racist power structure. They taught your ass from kindergarten to say the Pledge of Allegiance. You didn't know what the fuck you was talking about. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America, and to the Republic. What? You didn't know what you was talking about? What did you learn how to read? You learned how to read the English language, right? And once they taught you how to read, they told you what to read. So they gave you a social studies book and said, here's your history. Martin Luther King was a peace-loving man. He wanted all of us to live together. And then he got shot in his face in Memphis. Congratulations, that's Black history. Jesse Jackson was the first presidential Black candidate. Like, you learn the surface knowledge during this indoctrination process. They didn't teach you to be an individual. They taught you to be a citizen. So now go out there and use your math and your reading and your writing and get you a job and buy a home and contribute to the economy. And so that's what our people did. We didn't educate ourselves on, wait a minute, this is some bullshit. Look at the book and what they taught us. Look at how all the heroes are what? White. Look at the movies. I grew up watching John Wayne movies. Thinking, whoa, John Wayne, Rio Bravo, and all this shit.
He tried to attack that.
Was a supreme racist.
He tried to attack that lady at the what was it? The Oscars or the Grammys?
The Oscars, the Indian activist.
Yeah.
And you read his 1970 Playboy interview, and I put it in the People's News Network. He said he didn't believe that Black people should even be free until we figured out how to control ourselves and become more civilized. Now, I grew up watching his movies. This is how deep the indoctrination process is.
Man, fuck that cracker.
I said that once I found out, but I was already. This is what I'm saying. You got to unplug and unlearn. They'll feed us on the narrative like, shame on you, Black man. Look at your Hispanic brother. He comes over here, he works hard, he earns a living, and he makes something of himself. Well, that's not true, because there's so many Latinos in the prison system. Who do you think dominates the prison system? Blacks and Latinos. So tell me again how they lived 30 in the house and started a business selling oranges on the freeway and bubble gum.
That's the mums,
Sean
bro.
got on here and said he didn't even know there's a such thing as a Mexican scientist. He said, I ain't never seen no Mexican scientist.
I ain't never seen one
him
on
that
TV.
day on TV. I'm just saying.
I ain't never seen no damn Mexican scientist on the.
They have them because
motherfucking midget.
They grow up 30 in the house and share the same science book and then go become scientists, right? Like, come on, man. We sell every negative narrative that they sell us about us, we drink it up. And that's why we would say to each other, man, you know niggas can't have shit. You know we can't have shit. And you only can do what you believe you can do.
The only Mexican midgets I ever seen was on wrestling. So I mean, bro, it's a lot of shit going
Mexican
on.
Midgets. What the fuck are you talking about?
It was a Mexican midget in the alien suit, bro.
A luchador.
Stop the fight, man. Stop the fight. Stop the fight, man. I'm just saying, man. We believe and it's not true. Now I just go to the liquor store and I see a company and it's 30 Latinos and they redoing the whole store. And I say, well, that's cool. Okay, I'm glad that they are making their way in life. But that don't mean every Mexican does roofing. You'll meet some who say, I don't do that shit, Holmes. I don't do no fucking roofing. I'll sell some of this cocaine. I sell this to my people. I'm going to Miami. I sell it to any fucking body.
So you saying they either do?
I know that was more Cuban,
or they
right?
That was Scarface right there.
I know.
Yeah, that was Scarface, bro.
My fault.
They either doing roofing, selling oranges, or they drug dealers. That's racist as fuck, KB.
Well, Mexicans do a lot more than that. No, like there's a Latino education firm bought Cardinal Stritch, and they're developing a school like a real private school for Latinos. And earlier I talked about Ohio. I think Indiana may be the place where that opium epidemic is. I'd have to go back and check it out. So if you see it and you say he was wrong, it was Indiana. My bad. It's a faux pas on my part. It's one of them. It's one of them. I believe it's Indiana though. I don't think it's Ohio. Let me. I think it's Indiana. But yeah, man, they ain't no better than us. Like, they make it look good. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm kind of glad we don't live 30 deep in the house. I wouldn't want to live with 30 of my goddamn people in the same house. That ain't no good scenario for nobody. So black people, they stay 20 in the house together and start a restaurant and blow up. Man, they kill each other too. That's why there's no such thing as black on black crime.
I mean, yeah, I ain't saying they better than us. They people too. But I see some of them got a plan to get they shit together.
Some of us got a plan to get it. Actually, you got a plan. Yeah. Lamar got a plan. I got a plan. I don't know if Sean got a plan, but he got something like a plan.
Why the fuck ain't I got a plan?
I just didn't know. I said I didn't know. I didn't know. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to include you, and you didn't want to be included. I know you an outlaw. You like to do your own thing, right? I didn't know. I'm just saying. There's a lot of black people there's more black millionaires and billionaires at this point in this country than there's ever been. But we always saying black people can't do.
And Dr. Umar still trying to get somebody to help him build the Marcus Garvey school.
Right. I mean, like that. Him and Sukiana, right? Bonnie and Clyde, right? Come on, man. I once again, an image that's sold to us. Images that are sold to us. So we'll complain and say rap music, and then we'll turn off Outlaw Radio and then say, let me watch this twerk show. Right? Or let me go out here and drink my liquor or smoke my weed or sniff my cocaine. You'll give a speech to somebody else, but then you go do it behind their back. I'm just saying we don't like to face up to our own shit. And that's an issue. Because if we really looked at it, we realize we're not unsalvageable. Yeah, we got some issues here and there, but everybody does. Right. Like I tell people all the time, surprise, surprise, not every white person is rich. Some black people believe rich come with being white. If you white, you automatically, like you can just go one day and put in a card and be like white. They be like, oh, here's your bank account. Here's that poor. It's a lot of poor white people in America, and they get treated like shit by rich white people. They call them poor white trash. They won't even be seen with them, right? So, but we assume that it's just us. We're the poster children for dysfunction. We the people. You think about ghetto, hood, out of control savages. What image popped in all y'all mind? Don't even lie. When I said all that, what's the first thing you thought? Ghetto, ratchet, raggedy, low down. You think about black people. Instantaneous. You think when you say ghetto.
No, man, I was thinking about this white girl named Carol.
Okay.
I'm just saying I was.
Yeah, and I think like the like you said, that shit ain't no color. I think like that 16 and pregnant shit, like them used to be, down south ratchet ass white folks. You know what I'm saying? So you still was able to see that on TV too. It's just I guess it all depends on what channel we saw. Cause yeah, that was the Honey Boo Boo Child chick and shit like that, and the 16.
And they just not showing them sleeping with their daddies on TV.
There's dysfunction everywhere, and I just hate that black people think it's only us, right? Like one thing about me is, when I'm dealing with my people, I know what I'm dealing with, and I don't always assume the worst, but I'm prepared for the worst. You feel me? I don't assume every black man is the worst ever, but I'm prepared if he is. You know what I mean?
Fuck that.
I don't assume they are. I'm gonna let you prove yourself.
I don't like surprises. I don't like surprises. I don't want to put too much on a motherfucker. Oh, I didn't think that you were like this. Yes, I did, motherfucker.
Well, he said that's the image that was portrayed to us, but you say brainwashing isn't real. You can say brainwashing. I'm saying
propaganda is very real. Edward Bernays was a master.
Well, he's saying brainwashing. I said indoctrination. It may be semantics. It may be semantics for him. I don't think of it as brainwashing, because to me, brainwashing is a way more complicated process.
Like the Manchurian candidates and shit like that.
Yeah, it involves some real intense kind of real, focused. I think indoctrination is a processing. It's a system of processing. In and out.
just in other aspects, if you think about it, like with it being October, this is Hoodoo National Heritage Month. And, you know, a lot of people, we've been indoctrinated, especially, like I said, I grew up Church of God in Christ. So we've been indoctrinated to anything that's affiliated with African spirituality, we write off as demonic. But we don't even think about how our grandmamas and shit who was saved and everything, let them spill some salt. They gonna throw it over their left shoulder or let you accidentally step on the back of their heel. But you gotta hit them in the back. You know, all that shit was super. We call it superstition, but it was derived from, you know, hoodoo shit. But because we're indoctrinated, anything that connect us to any roots further and beyond slavery, we've been indoctrinated to demonize that shit.
And I hope people don't believe. I hope people don't believe. That's part of that's what I'm saying, indoctrination, because you don't even question it, right? And it doesn't take for you to go through it. It don't take for you to go through a process and facility to do it. Listen, even in church, even with the way we approach religion, you say, well, voodoo's a bad thing because they do these chants and they do these spells. But I've seen Christian ceremonies where they trying to get a demon out of somebody and they put oil on them and they're praying and they're
pushing
chanting
their head
and
they're
singing and everybody right, it's talking. It's all that's all in there, Kamar. That's all in there. But our indoctrination process makes us believe we can't even. We don't even understand spirituality. The white man had to define for us, hey man, this is how you do it. I don't think that's brainwashing. Once again, I believe you created a system, because how many of us grew up seeing white Jesus, not knowing that was the son of a corrupt pope?
Caesar Italian. Caesar Borgia or some shit like that.
Right, but you indoctrinated. You say, well, who is that? Well, that's Jesus. He's Italian.
Right, now that was a criminal. It's a criminal on that painting. He's a murderer.
His daddy was basically a mob boss. He was. Come on, that's indoctrination, though. That's when you say, I didn't even question it.
You gotta tell Florida Evans that shit.
And you know what? As sad as that sounds, a lot of us didn't know about Black Jesus until that episode of Good Times came on.
Word?
Because they wasn't teaching that. I'm telling you, I grew up with old Baptist people who never stopped to tell us when we was growing up, that's not Jesus.
Wow.
That's an Italian dude. They would say, well, they say he had hair like copper and hair like wool and skin like copper.
Lamb's wool.
Yeah, they would say that, but that picture of that Italian was in the stained glass window. It was on pictures everywhere. They never said, well, let's take this down and tell them the truth. They was Christians. They was saved, right? And so it's part of the indoctrination process, because all of us, you got this religion from the motherfuckers who was hanging you and killing you. Well, at least this version of it. I'm one of those people who believes there was Christianity in Africa before the white man got there, but the version we got was the chattel slave edition of Christianity. It was the slave Bible.
I just hope you know that somebody is going to tell, well, you going to hell tonight, buddy.
Why is that?
I just want to share that with you, buddy.
Why would I go to hell? What did I say? Did I say something that was sacrilegious?
You were talking about that Jesus. Yeah, they're gonna get you for that one, buddy.
Right. Well, so God is gonna send me to hell for telling people that that's not really his son on that picture. Like nope, I feel like God see the picture and say, that's not my son.
People gonna do it.
I mean, well, you know,
do it. They're gonna tell you about it. You know you're going to hell for that, right, Kevin?
Hey, well, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Use your full name too. They're like, Kevin Barnes, you are going to hell. They're gonna be at your door tomorrow.
Kevin Barnes,
like 7 Jehovah's Witnesses. They're gonna be at your porch in the morning.
I don't know if you just want me to insult Jehovah's Witnesses, but I don't even know what they got to do with it. But because they believe something totally different, right? Like he's just trying to throw shit out there, like, oh, you know, say something about the FOI. Like I'm not. Yeah, it's not. He said, it's not all the same to me.
I ain't said nothing about the FOI, bro.
He said, no, that's what the movies tell you. Brainwashing can be much simpler. Once again, this is all subjective. This is my opinion.
Is that TE Gaming again?
Yeah, that's TE Gaming. TE1 Gaming.
Yeah, am I saying that right, real?
I mean, once again, I said I believe brainwashing is a more complicated process than indoctrination. Because when you get off the boat at Ellis Island and they tell you, here's the Constitution, here's the founding fathers, here's the American flag. We honor these three things. That's what you're going to need to do to be an American. Welcome to this country, the land of the free. You say, cool. That's all I got to do. In order to brainwash me, you really got to put some schism down. You really got to pop. Brainwashing is intense. It's way more intense than
the spiral and umbrella, like drugs.
Yeah, you damn near got to hypnotize a motherfucker and have him just like have him googly eyed. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I think indoctrination. Apparently so. Pimping it, brainwashing, pimping, indoctrinating. See, I don't pimp. I indoctrinate my hoes. That's what he's saying.
There you go, pimping.
Baby, come get some of this indoctrination.
A whole congregation full of women.
Hey, it happens every day. When these campaigns, look at Beyonce. Now I would say something like Beyonce, the way they present her.
Hey man, you don't want to say nothing about the
No, I think there's brainwashing involved in that. I don't think that's indoctrination,
man.
Because I think anytime you turn a human being into an idol, then that's a result of being brainwashed, right? I think the Beyonce phenomenon is. I look at it every day like people are paying $1,000+ to sit in the 35th row and can't even see the stage, and all they want to be able to do is show on their phone that they was there, and they be like.
But the fans putting her at that level, is holding her on that pedestal. You know what I mean? It ain't I don't think there's nobody like doing that. The fans gotta support it, right?
Kamar, how many of those millions of internet followers that she has do you think are not bots, that are not generated bots by her own record company that put her pictures?
But I mean, hey, look. Ain't none of them the people paying $1,000 to sell out her shows either.
I just think it's brainwashing. I think anybody who's involved heavily in popular culture is brainwashed, though. I think you got to go through that in order to be successful.
Don't let KP.
He said, "I seen too many movies." He said, "I seen too many movies."
I think it's stuff she's doing to keep herself in the limelight, to keep herself in the eye, like the type of music she make, music who she catering to, you know what I mean? I think that's her catering to get the money, you know what I mean? I don't think that's really nobody.
I think anytime you flirt with Satanism, I think anytime you flirt with Satanism and your husband has had Aleister Crowley quotes on his shirt, and you're throwing up signs that just so happen to be satanic symbols from Satanists, I think that means those people who are involved in that, who have money, get invested in saying, we'll handle this part, Beyonce, you just sing and dance. So that's why I say it's more brainwashing, because I've seen, and I once again, I have my tinfoil hat on. I watched some stuff where I said, dude, that's too coincidental. And if I didn't see Jay-Z with this shirt on, and he's a smart brother, so he knows exactly what it is and what it was.
Do as thou wilt.
He's worn other clothing with symbolism on it, and he knows what it is. And I'm saying that's not a coincidence.
Man, I think a lot of symbolism they get from us. We just don't know it. You know what I mean? The swastika comes from us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of shit. That a lot of these symbols, it may just be something that we don't understand.
Right,
you know what I mean? What he doing? We don't know.
I know who it's associated with, because
I can pass judgment on people like that.
Aleister Crowley ain't affiliated with us. He's not affiliated with us, though, Kamar. This didn't come from us. This came from him. If you do your research on him, this came from him. So this ain't just saying. I get what you're saying on the swastika and stuff like that. The 6-point star, the Star of David, and we took it and made it GD and all this kind of stuff. But I'm saying Aleister Crowley and his satanic rituals are what they are. And
have you ever researched like the Church of Satanism?
Yeah.
Okay. Because a lot of the stuff, when I looked into it, like first off, you gotta believe in Satan. Like I don't believe in Satan at all. But
Right.
a
Okay.
lot of
That's
the
the
shit
big
that
one, right? That's the big point right there. Like
a
you
lot
gotta
of the shit that they talk
believe in
about
it.
is you are your God. So do as thou wilt means you have the power to do whatever the fuck you want to do. Just understand natural law and karma mean that you're free to do anything, but you're not free of the karma that comes with whatever you
Is
do.
that Crowley's definition of it, or is that something that somebody said? Because his
No, that's
definition was a little bit different.
like the Church of Satanism. It's like people think it's more so about worshiping a horned figure, when in actuality it's more so about the worship of self, understanding the power of self.
I'm not cartoonish enough to think that it's a horned figure. Like I don't believe in man. Because if you
Man,
lied
people,
about
remember
the depiction of Jesus, I know you lied about the depiction of Satan. I don't think it's about a big red dude who live in a crib that's on fire.
There's a lot of people.
I think about benevolent energy, negative energy, the spirit of evil and destruction, just like I think of God as an entity of energy, creativity, and positivity. So I'm not saying Satan with a pitchfork is standing somewhere with a tail, with a like, I'm thinking it's bigger than that. I think it's the amalgamation of negativity, despair, destruction, dysfunction. All of that is Satan because it brings forth destruction.
But I don't see what is he doing that's destructive?
Well, you talking about Crowley or Jay-Z?
Y'all going to hell.
Jay-Z, besides wearing shirts and shit, like what is he doing?
Well, if you are wearing this shirt, then you're carrying the message of it. So that's
but what about the message in his music? That don't count.
Listen at his music though. Listen at his music. Okay, so
that's what I'm saying. That's
he
what I'm saying.
His music celebrates his position as a crack dealer.
He talking about other ways of how to make money. He talking about how black people could get up.
His music celebrates the destruction and the genocide of our community. He celebrates I was a crackhead. I was a crack dealer. So that's his music.
Kevin, that's how he used to kick it, man. You don't
he
even listen to his music now.
He still talks about it. When he makes a song, he don't bring up
now, man. Come on, man.
If he makes a song, his latest music, his latest music, whatever Jay-Z made it, he's gonna talk about. I used to be a drug dealer. I sold crack by pounds. He's gonna talk about it, old or new music. He's gonna say the same thing.
I say that too.
That's wrong for you to say it. It's wrong for me to say it.
You don't talk shit about me.
If I hear you make a song about celebrating being a crack dealer, and then you come on here telling me you positive, I'm gonna say, motherfucker, you just made a song about how much crack you sell.
Dealing days, I just don't rap about it.
You don't, because you know it's something better, and you know it was wrong. You know what you was doing was wrong.
Yeah,
that's why you don't celebrate it.
Like I said, man, you gotta listen.
That's why you don't celebrate it. That's why you don't celebrate it, because you know it was wrong. Hold on, Sean. I've even heard you say you had the wrong message, and you was destroying your own community, and you know it was bad.
And that's the shit he talk about now, Kevin. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He
celebrated though. He's still celebrating.
No, he don't, man.
Yes, he do.
You don't even listen to his music.
I do. What the fuck you talking about? I don't listen to Jay-Z now.
Listen to his music.
I don't listen to Jay-Z now. What, dude? What are you talking about?
You don't even like Jay-Z.
I'm gonna say,
according to who? According to who?
You said it.
I never said I didn't like Jay-Z music.
According to you.
I always say Reasonable Doubt is a classic rap album.
That's the only album. That's the only thing you ever said you liked about him.
So that mean I like his music. What
that's the only thing you ever liked about him, man. That's the only thing.
Let me ask you a question. How do you know? You don't know what I listen to, though. You don't know what I listen to, though. You don't know what I listen to.
Because I just asked you about his message now. Like you ain't saying.
Dude, I heard the last album that he made where he tried to mix positivity in there. I heard that bullshit. It was a lot of shit. It was a lot of shit about dealing dope on that shit.
Man. So, he talked about fuck Jay-Z. The song fuck Jay-Z. He talking about fuck Jay-Z. Fuck the old me. That motherfucker was fucked up. That motherfucker was ill. That motherfucker preached a whole bunch of bullshit. He don't preach that same message is what I'm saying, Kevin.
I just heard a feature that he did recently for somebody. And he's talking about being a dope dealer on there. But I mean, that's what you talking about. You acting like I don't listen to this shit. I listen to this shit.
You don't listen to dude.
Y'all see how Beyonce just
all right.
As long as I've been on the show, you never liked it.
How can I argue with somebody telling me what I don't listen to? And I say I listen to it, you say no, you don't. That's not even an argument.
A long
That's not
time
even
ago when
argument.
we had the
Right.
issue, a long time ago when we had the issue about him sitting down with the NFL, you said back then you don't listen to his music. You don't like Jay-Z.
You could say I said whatever. If you say it, I believe I said it.
Like
I don't have proof. I don't have proof that I didn't
wouldn't
say
be
it.
having this conversation right now.
I don't have proof that I didn't say it, but I'm telling you right now, I've listened to enough Jay-Z to know what his topics are. So when you talk about him doing music now where, fuck Jay-Z and all that. And then in his very next song, he talking about, I flipped this and I flipped that. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. So but to say I don't listen to it, to say I don't listen to it is inaccurate because you don't really know what I listen to.
Hell, I was just talking about pimping.
But you don't know what I listen to. So to say I don't listen to it was inaccurate. So it was inaccurate. That was inaccurate.
That don't mean I was glorified. That don't mean I glorified the shit. It mean I lived this shit.
I never heard you say you was a pimp. So I don't even know we ain't talking about that. I never heard you say you was a pimp.
I never said I was. I said we was talking about it.
We was joking, I thought, because I know damn well I'm not no pimp. I'm not a pimp. I was joking. So if y'all was serious, I didn't know. I didn't know y'all was all real pimps. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Hey. Don't
I was joking. I've never been a pimp. I've never been a pimp. And I don't promote it either. I don't say, yeah, man, that's what I want you to be, little Kev. Go be a pimp. That's what I'm gonna say to him. Go make that money. I'm not saying that.
Me, I'm gonna let him know.
I don't think nobody said that.
Anyway,
Sean, what the hell are you talking about? You just here to interrupt conversations. What are you talking about?
I agree with Red on it. This is why you don't talk about Beyonce or transvestites on the show. Okay? Because this type of shit happens, bro. We can talk about Beyonce, then you talk about Jay-Z and who can't rap, who do rap. We didn't get all the way off topic. Who the fuck cares?
That's a good point.
From this Beyonce shit, bro.
That's the power, huh?
About Beyonce.
Hey, that's the indoctrination process.
That's the power.
Man,
that's the indoctrination process. Niggas go to argue with each other over Aleister Crowley's disciple. Right? One nigga defending him and one nigga saying fuck him. That's the way they want it. Right.
Right up.
Right. Hey, it is Outlaw Radio, so I guess it got the right to be as dysfunctional as everything else.
I just said before we started, I don't like passing judgment on people like that. And I was just saying, and my whole point was, you know what I mean? Okay, you say talk about that, but then I also say talk about
judgment no more.
And so do I. I do the same shit. Sean talk about shit where he done been, talk about the lifestyle he done lived, but then you hear him talking about other shit too. I mean, it's the same shit. So what? He wore a t-shirt. Fuck the messenger, get the message.
That's your opinion. And you welcome to it. I'm not gonna try to argue. I'm not gonna try to argue you out your opinion. You can live on that island. You can go and die on that hill. That's fine.
You kept talking and throwing little small shots and shit. Why can't I talk?
You did. That's why I just shut the fuck up and let you talk. That's why I just let you talk. That's why I just let you say what you wanted to say. That's why I just let you say what you wanted to say. And I said that's your opinion.
Stop that.
No. You just said, do you have, look, let me ask you this. Do you got anything else to add to it? Do you have anything else to add to it? Because I want to make sure you can talk. Because I felt like I was letting you talk. So if you got anything else to add to it, go ahead.
I ain't say you didn't let me talk. I didn't say you didn't let me talk. I said you was throwing shots. You throw your shots, but then you don't want nobody to come back.
What shot did I throw at you? What shot did I throw? I thought we was talking about Jay-Z. What shot did I throw at you?
Because people be protecting Jay-Z. I mean, come on, man. I'm not protecting them.
You thought that's a shot?
You turning it into me protecting them. And
that's a shot because I said one nigga is against him and one nigga's protect. That's a shot. Okay. All right. If that's what you interpret as a shot.
Come on,
I didn't think that was a shot. One thing I don't have is I don't have a reason to take no subliminal shot at you. So why would I take a shot about Jay-Z?
We do it all the time on the show, Kev. What you talking about? We do it all. We've been doing it all show. What you talking about? It ain't no big deal. That wasn't no shot. That wasn't no shot at all. That was just summing up the conversation. That wasn't no shot. What you say, Sean?
You only take shots at me?
I don't take shots at you. I just insult you outright. I don't even take shots.
Okay.
I just go at you.
Okay. Thank you for being.
It don't even be secret. It don't even be subliminal.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. That makes me feel better.
That wasn't no
better.
shot. It was just Rail said, see how it got us. So I said niggas is arguing over Jay-Z. One nigga's
The
defending him. One
power.
nigga's
That's why you don't speak on Bay, man.
No.
say don't
It
speak
started
on
with
him.
Beyonce. You don't
Man, that's that
Well,
power.
see, and that's the
See how
thing. And
it's
see,
wrong,
and that's
bro.
the thing right there. Y'all keep saying over Jay-Z. It wasn't over Jay-Z. I was making a point.
Well, I'm glad it ain't
No,
just
I
me.
was
Then
saying that we don't bring. I
And
was
it
saying we
turned into
shouldn't bring
over
up
Jay-Z. It turned into
Beyonce.
over Jay-Z because we start talking about his lyrics and shit.
Now, I was saying that we shouldn't bring up Beyonce or transvestites. That's what I was saying.
Well, we've been cussed out for talking about transvestites on the show too.
Man, they called in.
That's why you
and
don't want to bring them up, bro. You don't want to bring
There's
them up,
nothing
bro.
safe. You gonna get cussed out by another black person no matter what you say.
I
It doesn't matter.
don't say shit about them.
It doesn't matter, man.
About them, bro.
It's 10:10. We gonna get out of here. We'll be back on Wednesday night and probably be more dysfunctional then than we were tonight. I can't make you
Hopefully.
no promises. You just gotta tune
I
in
hope
and
so.
see what's popping. Kamar, what's your hours at House of Vitality?
11 to 7, Tuesday to Saturday.
And that's where you at, because we'll be back on Wednesday. So that's what you got popping through the early part of the week, or you got something else?
That's it.
Okay. I always ask Rail this, but I already know we plantation it. So I don't know. I'm gonna be in the fields, in the cotton fields until Wednesday. I don't know about you, Rail. I got cotton to pick, so I'm gonna be on that.
Hell yeah, I still got to work and take them calls for food stamps. That I talk to everybody, black, white, Puerto Rican, Haitian. Talk to plenty Somalis and Afghanians, man. Like everybody broke in this motherfucker, and they all call for shit. I talked to some Indian folk. Both them motherfuckers was like college professors, still calling in to get their food stamps and healthcare and shit. Like. So everybody gonna shoot their shot for them state benefits, man. So yeah, I'll be doing that all week. I'll be brewing up some more wine, some white grape wine and some red grape wine. I'm gonna be doing this week, and then just expanding my social media reach so that eventually, man, my books hit Oprah list so I can quit and homeschool my kids.
Damn, that's a hell of a goal. Mine damn near done with school, so I guess I don't got to worry about that. Sean, what you got popping this week? You protesting? Y'all got another hearing? What's going on with the gas station?
No, we got a common council meeting on the 10th. That's a full common council meeting. Then I got a meeting of CUP on the 16th at the Capitol Library. Man, just asking everybody to come out for both. We really need y'all at this common council meeting on the 10th. Up until then, I'll be in the tent, still protesting and still trying to build this coalition for peace and progress. Oh,
all right.
And I'm not going to talk about any transvestites or Beyonce and the Beehive.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna talk about whatever, whenever, however. It is what it is. People gonna feel the way they feel about you. No, it's absolutely necessary for all of us to have our own ability to speak our minds, whether people agree with us or not. It's really not about somebody agreeing with you or pigtailing or what they call it. I wanna go off what he said. It ain't really about that. I think one of the problems that black people have is we don't know how to disagree. When we can sit in a room and say, I don't feel that way, and you can say, well, I do, and you say, well, that's cool. What are we talking about in terms of business? Let's get this done. And we can do that. I think we'll be in a better place. I think a lot of us tend to get too emotional because we believe our opinions are the ones that should dominate instead of understanding that it's just your opinion. And outside of you, don't nobody really even give a fuck, because you can walk down the street tomorrow and meet somebody of a totally different mindset and totally different opinion. And you be like, this nigga dumb in a motherfucker. And he might look at you the same way. But that don't mean I need to stomp him out. That don't mean I need to upstrap on him. That don't mean I need to assassinate his character, cancel him, or ruin his life. And I think if we could really come together and say, we ain't gonna worry about small shit. We're gonna worry about big shit and let everybody small shit be their own small shit to deal with. It's just my opinion, and then we'd be in a better place as a people. And we would have that solidarity that we look at Puerto Ricans and Asians and Mexicans and say, because I can guarantee you they don't all agree. But when it come time for them to put that roof on, they gonna all get out there and work. And that was so bad of me to say that they putting the roof on. But y'all get the point, man. So the lesson in all this is, if you black man, always be open to hear what your brother got to say. And if you don't agree, or if you do agree, it's all the same. It's all love anyways. If we could just walk away and say, all right, bro, all right, man, I'll holler at you, man. Peace and love. That's what it's about. I don't expect people to always, Outlaw radio is Outlaw radio for the fact that it ain't about everybody singing Kumbaya and holding hands. Sometimes this shit got to get hot. And when it do, if you can't take it, you got to get the fuck up out the kitchen, man. So we'll be back Wednesday for Outlaw Radio. Share the show if you're just catching it. If you tune in for the first time, I hope you enjoyed it. I know you're like, these motherfuckers crazy. All they do is yell at each other. It's not always like that, but sometimes it is. So I will see y'all Wednesday night. I will speak to y'all Wednesday night. We'll be up on some more shit to argue about, or maybe sometimes agree about.
Don't forget my link Wednesday, man.
Now you might not get no link Wednesday and shit. We'll talk. It's up for negotiation.
Plenty again.
The one thing that you have to know is it's all about action, man. Either you talking about it or you doing it. And if your criticism of the community outweighs your contribution, you might just be a coon. We don't know. We'll see you and your buddy Sean Wednesday. Happy cooning, Sean.
Listen, the only way this thing will be official is if the people choose it. So that means share the show.